Welcome, race fans, to Ohsweken. Speedway as Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet presents Friday Night Excitement, brought to you by O'Neill's Farm Equipment, Case IH. It's agricultural night here at Ohsweken Speedway after 2 weeks off due to the weatherman. We're back at it on a beautiful Friday night here at the Big O. My name's Greg Kellman. With me, Adam Ross. Clinton Jeffrey will be down trackside tonight as we wrap up our final hot lap session here for the 360 sprint cars. Brought to you by Carmen's Group. And you see a little smoke trailing out behind the 47X of Dylan Westbrook.
Lucas Smith just about had a moment there in turn 2 on his first lap of hot laps, Greg. Yellow flag being displayed, so I'm not sure if there's fluid out from the 47 machine. But Lucas Smith went for a wild bounce through turn 2.
That will conclude the hot lap sessions, and we'll start things off tonight with our HRW Automotive mini stocks. And to start things off tonight, we'll see the first of our change in qualifying tonight for our fender divisions. And Adam, something a little different, 2 semis tonight to qualify. Top 10 go to the big dance, and then a last chance qualifiers. We see that rough ride for Lucas Smith.
And that was his return to the racetrack after going for a big bounce down there, and it didn't seem to slow him down. He came out with a full head of steam. So yeah, we're going to run 2 semis instead of 3 qualifying heats. Top 10 cars will transfer. Extra 2 laps have been added to these races. Here's how they're going to line up for semi number 1. Out of Brantford, the 64 is Nick Erskine to his outside in the 9K. Also out of Brantford, it's Coyote Dixon. Third in the 16 from Ancaster, it's Fabio Oliveri. Fourth from Ohsweken, the 188 is Paul Longboat. Fifth from York, the 9 is Tim DeBoer. Sixth from Paris, the 79 is Steve Miller. Seventh from Caledonia, the 265 is Mike Evers. Eighth from Waterford, the 4 is Wade Thorne. Ninth out of Stratford, the 54 is Christopher French. 10th from Beachville, the 66 is Martin Schroeder. 11th from Brantford, the 1A is Ashton Dickey. 12th in the 5K from Niagara Falls, it's Ken Hare. 13th from St. Catharines, the 17 is Alex Riley. And rounding out the field from St. Catharines, the 4A is Mason Anderson.
So it's a posted 8-lap qualifying race. All 14 cars will transfer in the mini stocks because of there being 28 cars here tonight.
Race director Doug Leonard reminding these drivers, hey, everybody is qualified. No need to get crazy out there, but you never know how well they're going to listen, because when there's a checkered flag to be raced for, they're going to go out there and race hard. Nick Erskine with a good start in that 64, but Longboat is quick as well in the 108.
And it's been 2 weeks since these drivers took to the track back on June the 9th, so they're feeling the itch to get out here and compete. Some have not raced at any other track since that time. They're already 4 wide on the opening lap.
Big start for Mason Anderson. Started all the way at the back, and he's almost into the top 5. Longboat in the 188, I believe I called him in the 108. That's the 188 machine. Holds on. Fabio Oliveri in the 16 for the lead as they race off turn number 4.
Longboat out in front. Oliveri right behind. Giving chase is Ashton Dickey in the 1A machine. Fabio looks low on Longboat. He comes down the track. Fabio gets on the binders. And close call there. They all keep their noses going straight.
A lot of bite out there right now, as there always is early on in this evening. So it is a hammer-down racetrack at the moment. Longboat continues to lead, but an awkward line through 1 and 2. That car pushed way up the racetrack. Here comes Oliveri to the back bumper of the Longboat 188.
He'll look low down in corner number 4. Shows the nose this time as they come off for the 4th turn. At the stripe, halfway home. At the line, it was Oliveri leading that time.
Oliveri with the lead, slides up in turns 1 and 2. Sort of blocks the path of Paul Longboat. I don't think he was intending to block. That's just where his momentum took him, and he let the car drift up. They've got a big advantage over 3rd place. Right now being held by Ashton Dickey in the 1A. His teammate Not too far behind him, Wade Thorne in the 4.
So Oliveri now is stretching his lead over Longboat. Good distance over third place Dickey. Now it's Thorne, Erskine, and Anderson right now in the best fight. That's 4th, 5th, and 6th right now.
And I'm not sure how much positions mean in these heat races if everyone qualifies, because I'm sure they'll go back to a handicap system. So probably the top 10 finishers will make it into the handicap, and that's how they'll line up for the feature tonight. But we'll have to confirm that.
1 lap left to go for Fabio Oliveri in the 16. He runs it through corner number 2, and he's got a sizable advantage now over Longboat. The battle shaping up is for the 4th spot.
That's a crazy pack back there, considering we're on the 8th and final lap, and they're still fanned out like the first lap. Oliveri will take the win over Longboat 2nd, Ashton Dickey 3rd, then it's Nick Erskine, Wade Thorne. Mason Anderson going to finish 6th, followed by Mike Evers, Tim DeBoer, Alex Riley, with Ken Hare rounding out the top 10.
Well, guys, I got our first Case IH track report of the night, and the track looks fabulous. These last couple of weeks have really done a wonder with the track, guys. Very smooth, and as you look, it goes right up. No heavy ripples, no heavy curbs, nothing we're going to worry about till we get up to here. We're going to continue to pack it from here to the top and try and prevent this stuff from rolling over and becoming a big curb. We'll try and keep this packed down and smooth, guys, but this is the best track we've had so far this year. The other thing I want to mention, these qualifiers are a new system to try and keep time. We're trying to save some time here on a big night, extra division. I like these qualifier guys. We'll see how it works out. And you're right, Adam. They will revert to handicapping. So all these drivers have been told, just finish where you are. You'll be all right.
Hear that? You're right.
Sun don't shine on the same dog's butt every day, Greg. Once in a while, catches those rays. I was digging deep for that saying, because there's a lot of places I could have gone wrong there.
Qualifier number 2 ready to get doubled up here, so he'll pack up on the high side there, as Clint just showed us where that little bit of a ripple is.
We're missing our pole sitter, and I see him just coming off of turn number 3 to join the field. I'm not sure if he'll get a spot or not. I don't think he will, but scheduled to roll off first from Caledonia, it's the pinball, Mike Giverson in the 11. Second in the 88 from Leamington, it's Steve Conway. Third from Waterdown, the 01 is Tristan De Silva. Fourth from Burlington, the 76 is Sean Taylor. Fifth from Linden, the 11E is Jeff Elsliger. Sixth from Beamsville, the 27 is Nico Hansen. Also from Beamsville, the 7B of Braden Cuse. The 14Ls from Port Colborne, that's John Lubeck. The 1 is from Guelph, it's Jason Tolton. 6X from Smithville is Mike Sarantakos. The 21H from New Hamburg is Ryan Hiller. The 20J from Smithville is Nathan Joyner. The 34 from St. Anne's is Randy Alway. And the 14 Double D is from Welland. It's Dustin Duga.
Off they go, the second qualifier. They're already 3 wide for the lead. As De Silva works the bottom, Conway's got some spark in that 88 and hauling the mail off a corner 2.
We've seen this all season long. He has struggled to get to the end of these races, but he's had some speed out in front. Tristan De Silva leads the way. Elsliger going to take up the 2nd spot, and then it's Stephen Conway holding on to 3rd.
Elsliger picking up a win already this year as Conway gets sideways up in corner number 1. He'll gather it back up, but he'll have to tuck in line on the backstretch.
The pack rumbles through 3 and 4 with De Silva still out in front. Elsliger making chase. They pulled away a little from Nico Hansen in the 3rd spot. That groove getting wider and wider. They're about 2 car widths higher than they were in that first race out there. Tristan De Silva goes into turn 3 towards the outside, lets the car go right up to the top of the track before cutting it back down through 4 and down the front straightaway.
Elsliger right now on that back bumper of Tristan De Silva as they work it through 1 and 2 another time. Nico Hansen and Mike Sarantakos 3rd and 4th, and then a gap back to Lubeck, who's got 3 cars wide behind him.
Sean Taylor just got squirrely in turn 2, had to chase the car up the racetrack. That allowed Ryan Hiller to get on by on the inside, as well as Randy Alway in that 34 as we've reached the halfway point of this semi.
Most recent winner in this division is that 21H of Ryan Hiller, who's now worked his way into the 6th spot as Taylor gets up into the high stuff in corner 2, gathers it back up.
That did not have a high likelihood of a happy ending. If you saw the direction that car was facing, Sean Taylor able to get it pointed in the right direction. But he's going to have to do something to get the push out of that 76.
Elsliger looks low down in corner number 3 on the 0-1 of De Silva. Tucks back in line behind him, and that Sarantakos has made the most ground up here as he's caught the top 2 and now putting some pressure on Elsliger.
Trouble for Nico Hansen on the front straightaway. He's going to take that 27 car to the pits. He lost power on the front stretch. We're about to see the white flag, and Mike Sarantakos is fast on the inside.
3-car race for the lead. White flag comes out. De Silva, Sarantakos, and Elsliger all right there in the pack, fighting it out for this win. Sarantakos gets twitchy. The rear end comes around on that machine.
Tried to carry enough speed on the inside, couldn't do it as he squeezes Elsliger up into the outside wall. They race through 3 and 4 for the final time.
Checkers coming out. De Silva will get the win over Sarantakos. Then it's Elsliger 3rd, Hiller up to the 4th spot, Lubick 5th, and then Alway in the 6th position.
Jason Tolton finishes 7th with Dustin Duke. Sean Taylor and Nathan Joyner rounding out the top 10.
Braden Hughes, Stephen Conway, Nico Hansen, and Mike Giberson conclude the running order.
Now, Spencer, if you can get us a shot of one of the corners, don't know if you can or not, we'll show off our new toys. But it's got to be a static shot. We'll work on that after this heat race because I really want to illustrate how wide the track is becoming. It's going to be great for these vintage cars.
There you go. Turn the pen on, Adam.
Yeah. So just from the start of that race, the groove was down here, but even with those mini stocks, you can see they're pushing it up. By the end of the night, it's going to be all the way up to the very edge of the racetrack where only the brave can make it up there and turn fast laps.
Well done. That was the politest thing you've drawn on there all night.
I practiced more complicated images so that I could get to this point and make it work.
Vintage Modifieds on the track. First qualifying heat. Looks like it'll be Ian Gordon lining up on the pole with Evan Curtis on the outside in the 67. Gavin Riddell out of Cardinal in the 9G alongside Josh Powers in the 73. Mark Shadwell in the 07 and Bill Profoda. Dresden in the 51. He's out there, but I don't see Shadwell.
No, Shadwell had a strange sound coming from that 07 in practice earlier, so I'm not shocked that he didn't make the call. Hopefully they're able to make repairs and get out before feature time. Look at the 73 of Josh Powers lifting that left front as he works through the corners. From about halfway through the turn off, that left front comes up off the ground.
Out in front, it's all Ian Gordon out of Kingston in the 17 machine. He leads it over Gavin Riddell in the number 9.
Ooh, Riddell got up the racetrack, managed to gather it. That turn 2 has fooled a couple of drivers tonight. Riddell did a good job to regain control because that turn 2 wall comes up in a hurry, and it's caught a couple of drivers this season.
Still a good fight on there between Powers and Riddell as they work it off corner 2 down the backstretch and to corner number 3. Great showing of cars here tonight. 25 in total for the Vintage Modifieds, broken up into 2 classes amongst those 25.
And they'll all race together come feature time, but we'll be able to tell which ones are the 50s and 60s cars and which ones are the 70s and 80s style cars.
White flag out, one more trip around for Gordon as Riddell and Power still duke it out for that 2nd spot. Profoda has moved up to the 4th position now.
Into 3 and 4, Ian Gordon running a nice smooth line through the corners. He's going to take the win over Riddell, Powers, Profoda, and Curtis.
So qualifier 1 into the record books. Number 2 coming out onto the Speedway. And the car on the pole for this one. This one brings back memories for me. The driver at Americville, Steve Billings, in the 84. Driving a car painted up just like Dave Heaslip. The Slip. Dave Heaslip, someone I grew up watching in that Pepsi machine. Steve Billings behind the wheel of that machine here tonight. Alongside of him, it's Jason Riddell at a Cardinal in the 9J. Starting third in the 10. Out of Port Colborne, it's Dave Small. Paul Billings in the numeral 10 from Ottawa will line up in the 4th spot. Andy Imbo from Niagara Falls in the 9I. That's not a 91. A 9I is what it has, but it's 91 on the car. And then in the 41, Tim Natalino out of North Tonawanda. And there is Doug Gordon out of St. Catharines in the 9D.
Good-looking field of modifieds. The white flag has been displayed, and there's the 07 of Mark Shadwell. Probably just wanting to get some laps in so we don't hear Doug Leonard barking too loudly at him. I spoke too soon.
We got a crew member up there on one of the vehicles up in the high side of 4 that keeps us under the caution flag.
He doesn't have a one-way radio, but he's getting scolded by the race director.
All right, second qualifying heat bunched up on the backstretch, ready to come to the green flag. 6 laps the distance.
Slow and steady through turns 3 and 4, heading toward the green flag in the hand of Dave Hunsinger. Green flag flies and they charge down into turn 1.
Billings jumps out to the early lead, and Steve Billings in the 84. With Jason Riddell giving chase in the 9J.
I'm not ashamed to admit it. This is when modifieds look the best. That's the best looking era of dirt modified. That Steve Billings machine out in front.
I'd have to concur. You and I don't agree a lot, but I have to admit this is, I guess because this is what we grew up on.
And that has to be it. And there's probably people saying, man, those are weird looking race cars.
It's all Billings out in front. Riddell giving chase. Then you've got the 10 machine to Dave Small holding down the 3rd position, and Doug Gordon slow up in corner 3. We'll see if that car will find its way off the track somewhere.
He's very active in the cockpit too. I saw him waving his arms when he was going down the back straightaway. Dave Hunsinger pointing down towards turn number 1, letting the competitors know that there's something going on down there, and Doug Gordon gets up out of the groove. He'll take that car to the pits. Meanwhile, white flag is about to come out.
Riddell trying to close the gap on Steve Billings with the final trip ahead of them around the Speedway. Billings up in the higher groove. He'll get a good launch off the 2nd corner down the backstretch.
Billings a little slower going into the turn, but he's able to get back to the throttle and really come off the corner nicely. He'll take the win.
Over Riddell, Small, and then the 91 of Andy Imbo crosses the line in the 4th spot. 41 of Tim Natalino will cross the line in 5th. Mark Shadwell, who was added to that heat race, actually under the scoring there, in 6th. And then it was Paul Billings in the 10 and the 9D of Doug Gordon.
Now we've got the 50s and 60s era modifieds.
So when I grew up watching the last 2 heats, that style of car, they still had the Mid-State Antique Car Club that would come into Can-Am Speedway on Saturday nights. They look like these cars.
And I don't remember seeing anything older at the tracks I would go, like down Rolling Wheels, Weed
Older
Sport.
than this? Chuck wagon.
Yeah.
All right, heat race number 3 for the 50s, 60s. Jens Mortensen from Hamilton in the 68 starts on the pole to the outside. Jeff Kledgett out of Ontario. Is that a place? Ontario? Is it like New York?
My brother Daryl and my other brother Daryl.
Car number 6. Billy Montreal out of Port Colborne in car number 2 starts third. Derek Liverance back in the 911. He's from Brantford. And Joe Hiltz from Kempville in the 83V.
Waiting for that green flag, and it flies off of turn number 4. We're underway.
You've seen Jens Mortensen, who's leading this race, do a lot of street stock racing in this area in years gone by.
The funny thing about this group is they all work to the bottom of the racetrack. The last heat, they were all towards the top of the track, as Liverance with his hands full in that 911 machine.
No problems for the two. Billy Ace Montreal stays on the track, though.
Yeah, keeps it on the racetrack. It looks like he had thoughts of heading towards the pits, but he keeps it out on the track. Mortensen way out in front. Liverance trying to hold off Jeff Kledgett in that 6 machine for the second spot.
Mortensen all alone out in front, coming to the cross flags is now Jay Liverance in the 911. Has lost steam up in 3 and 4. He's coasting around, trying to find his way to the infield.
He politely takes that car down off the racing surface and out of harm's way. Man, look at Mortensen bounce down into the corners. I wonder what that feels like inside the race car.
On to a big advantage over Jeff Kledgett in the 6. Holds down that second spot. Final time through 3 and 4 for Mortensen as he'll bob and weave his way through the corner. Off of 4, he'll take the checker. Sheriff's in town with the victory.
If that car was uncomfortable, he didn't show it. His last lap was his fastest lap of that race as Mortensen takes the win over Jeff Kledgett, Joe Hiltz, Billy Montreal. Derek Liverance rounds out the field.
Fourth and final heat for the Vintage Modifieds, making its way out onto the Speedway here on O'Neill Farm Equipment Night. Case IH, also proud sponsors of this evening. Some of the beautiful Case IH equipment down there in the infield tonight. Longtime supporters here at Ohsweken Speedway on Agricultural Night. I want to welcome everyone who is joining us from the agricultural world. We couldn't eat and live without all of you.
No, that's for sure. We appreciate each and every one of you. We're glad you were able to make it.
Jeffrey Larmont starts on the pole. He is in the 601. He's from St. Catharines. Dexter Billings in the 38 from Kingston to start in second. Daryl Wilson from Merrickville starts in the third spot in that Buzzy Rudiman 00. Pete Stapper out of Brockville in the 63 machine starts in fourth. And Greg Hale from Guelph in the 28G.
Final heat race for these vintage cars out there now. Wow, that sounds louder. Larmont and Billings lead him down the front straightaway. Billings going to charge down into turn number 1, take the lead in that 38 machine, but he slides up the track a little bit loose. Larmont goes by on the bottom.
And here comes the 28 machine of Greg Hale. He's down to the inside of Pete Stapper in the 63. Good 4-car race for the lead. Troubles for Daryl Wilson, puffing out some smoke in the 00.
All eyes on the front of the field as they go 3 wide off of turn number 2. Larmont down the inside. That's 63.
Pete Stapper working the bottom. Looking to lead the lap.
That's what I was trying to get out of my mouth.
2 laps on the scoreboard, 4 to go. This is a pretty wide and big racetrack, guys.
Yeah, they're definitely using each other to help them get around the corners as Stapper leads the way. Almost contact between Greg Hale and Pete Stapper on the front stretch. But that top four still right there, nose to tail.
Hale now trying the outside of Stapper through 3 and 4 as they work it off the corner. Can Hale get the run? He will. He'll lead the lap with 2 to go.
They pulled away from Jeff Larman. In that 601, Dexter Billings trying to make a move on the 601 machine as that top four that once was bunched right together now spread out just a little bit, but still a fantastic race to watch.
One more time around for Greg Hale, the leader in the 28. Stapper holding down the second spot over Larman. Dexter Billings back there in fourth. Darrell Wilson still on track in the 5th spot.
Checkered flag in the air. It's going to be Greg Hale earning that victory. Pete Stapper second, Jeff Larman third, Dexter Billings fourth, and Darrell Wilson going to round out the field in that 0-0. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, it'll be time for Strickland's Brantford Chevrolet Crate Sprints.
Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Our savory potato sides can be prepared any way you like. Serve warm or chilled, as a main or as a side. Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Create your way to great taste.
Welcome back to Ohsweken Speedway, where it's time to go crate sprint car racing. Here's how they'll line up for heat race number 1. On the pole from Harrisburg, the 14W is Greg Wilson. To his outside from Thamesford, the 14 is Larry Gledhill. The 85C is from Ridgeway, it's Cam McKinnon. From Bowmanville is the 31 of Dale Curran. Starting 5th in the 72. Out of Waynfleet is Tanner Podwinski, starting 6th. I believe making his debut in a crate sprint from St. Catharines, the 777A of Tyler Willard. Starting 7th from Kitchener, the 50LS is Adrian Stalig, and rounding out the field from Rockwood, the 74 is Rob Neely. I don't know if Tyler Willard has done any racing or testing yet, but I think this is his first launch. Clinton Jeffrey will know for sure.
I don't believe they've done anything, guys. This was recently sealed motor from Klotz, and they've been working to get this one going for a little bit. But Tyler Willard, a modified pilot, big blocks and small blocks down at Maryville, and raced all over the BRP Tour the last few years. So glad to have Tyler here with us, and we'll see what he can do. Kevin Knapp also helping him turn wrenches on that, so a couple guys that we're familiar with around here.
We're going to have to ask him how to pronounce that sponsor. Is it High Sun?
I'll have to have a look.
Yeah, it's on the wing. It's pretty big. 8 laps the distance for these qualifying heats.
Off we go. Greg Wilson leads them down into corner number 1 with Larry Gledhill giving chase. Cam McKinnon right there in the 3rd spot. And keep an eye on that 7A as he works by Dale Curran. That 31 machine of Dale Curran. Last time here he had that vicious crash up in 1 and 2 with Brian Nanakoke. So we'll see if he's got this new rocket ready to go. And it looks like he's got problems and headed to the pit area.
Yeah, that car did not want to turn. Another driver I want to watch for is that 85C. Cam McKinnon has been running as many races as he can. Traveling down to Brockville So we'll see if that extra seat time is paying off. He's looking pretty stout out there, running in the 4th spot just ahead of Tyler Willard.
Driving with confidence, it looks like, for Cam McKinnon. And right now, at this stage of his career, that's what he needs. Last year, opening night was injured and missed a good chunk of the season, so lost a lot of seat time. So getting as much as he can this year. Halfway home, Greg Wilson leads with Larry Gledhill giving chase.
A little further back, Rob Neely has been almost up alongside Tyler Willard a number of times. Willard closing the door, running the bottom line, so a couple of races that we can enjoy watching. Whoa, Gledhill way up to the outside wall, coming off of turn number 4, manages to avoid the concrete, but that was almost something.
Greg Wilson, we documented his struggles. He had a bad crash, I believe it was on opening night, missed a week, and then came back, got a heat race win. Here he is running strong again with a pair of 14s out in front. Wilson over Gledhill.
Not a couple of spring chickens either, Greg or Gledhill out there as the white flag flies on this one. They'll duke it out into turn number 1. Gledhill able to get into the corner better, but Greg Wilson getting off the turn faster.
All the while, Tanner Podwinski riding back there in third as Greg Wilson picks up the heat race win over Gledhill, then Podwinski. Rob Neely up to the 4th spot of Cam McKinnon, and then it's Willard and Staley. Dale Curran will get the DNF.
8th to 4th, good passing points for Rob Neely in that 74 machine. As that will do it for heat race number 1. Greg Wilson, that beautiful 14 car. When the second heat rolls out, they're going to line up like this. On the pole from Rockwood, the 94 is Ryan Fraser. To his outside from Ohsweken, the 77E is Ashton Van Every. Third from Woodstock, the 29W is Tyler Ward. And fourth, he had struggles in practice. From St. Thomas, the 52 is Jesse Costa. Fifth out of Georgetown, the 2M is Steve Murdoch. Sixth from Kitchener, the 2 is Travis Hofstetter. 7th from Ohsweken, the 28 is Cameron Thompson, and 8th from Ancaster, the 51 is Trevor Young.
"32 cars here tonight for the Crate Sprint Car Division.
For our cheat sheet there. How many people does it take to pick up a binder? It takes 3. Of course, Strickland's Brantford Buick, Cadillac, Chevrolet, and GMC has sponsored this division for quite a while. And boy, has it grown.
Tyler Ward not making the call, so everyone being told to move up a spot. 7 cars, 6 will transfer.
Only one driver will be left out, and it's hard to pick which one it might be, Greg.
Yeah, especially the way Trevor Young's been running. He's been getting in through the A main this year a lot, and he's the one right now looking from the outside, trying to get around Travis Hofstetter to get into the top 6.
Hofstetter got loose there in turn number 1. Young had to take evasive action out in front. It's Fraser, and then side by side, Van Every and Murdoch do battle for the 2nd spot.
Murdoch around the outside of Van Every. Last time out for that Nitro 54 variety, number 77E. Ashton Van Every ended up wadded up down to the inside of the corner 4 wall. Got that thing looking beautiful again this week and ready to go. Holding down the 3rd spot with Jesse Costa right behind in position number 4. And 5th, 6th, 7th, that's where the transfer spot is at. And right now, it's still Trevor Young trying to dig his way in to the top 6.
We got a battle for the lead. Murdoch on the outside, Ryan Fraser down low. They race side by side through 3 and 4. Murdoch takes the lead at the halfway point of this heat race.
Murdoch stretching that advantage. Now Jesse Costa beginning to pull up on the back end of Ryan Fraser, looking for that 2nd position as they work it across the stripe another time. 5 on the board, 3 to go for Steve Murdoch. Here's Costa looking low on Fraser off of 2.
Murdoch just got real high off of turn 2 as well, so something's up in turn 2 that's throwing these drivers off tonight. 2 laps to go. Costa and Fraser race side by side. Trevor Young struggling out there in the 51. It looks like he's going to be B main bound.
White flag goes up in the air for Steve Murdoch as Costa trying to pull away from Fraser, but Fraser not letting him go. Van Every holds down 4th. And it's Cameron Thompson in the 5th position, and Travis Hofstetter still in 6th.
Trevor Young's not giving up on that battle for 6th. Steve Murdoch going to take the win over Costa. Fraser will come home 3rd, 4th to Van Every, 5th to Cam Thompson, 6th. Travis Hofstetter and Trevor Young is headed for the B main. Should remind our fans, the Crate Sprints Heat Races are brought to you by Slack Lumber. Recently under new ownership. It's a full-service facility specializing in supplying construction materials for all different disciplines in the building industry. Heat race number 3 comes onto the racetrack. 3rd heat race out of 4 on the night. On the pole from Mississauga, the highlight man, Mac DeMann, behind the wheel of the 4. Alongside him from Ohsweken, the 9C is Brian Nanakoke. The 3S is from Mossley, it's Austin Rose. Starting 4th in the 00 from Dorchester, it's Greg Smulders. 5th in the 71C from Smithville, it's John Cadman. 6th from Listowel, the 97 is Sheldon Bender. 7th in the 420 from Ohsweken is Victor Bomberry, and rounding out the field from Wainfleet, the BS 39 is Brett Stratford. Looks like they're packing in that, I would say that outside group, but it's actually 1 lane above the outside group because it's up in the soft stuff.
Again, top 6 to transfer.
Victor Bomberry got some vinyl on that 420. Been duct tape numbers up until now.
Stratford starting in the 8th spot. That should be fun to watch. See how he charges from the back of the pack. Point leader coming in too tonight.
Mac DeMann out in front, jumps on the loud pedal. We're underway with heat race number 3.
Actually, I'm mistaken. Larry Gledhill is the point leader by 10 markers over Brett Stratford. So
we forgive you.
Tommy won't.
Oh
boy, oh boy, oh boy. Stratford.
I'll tell you, Greg Smulders, not to be pushed around. Stratford went into the corner, slid up the racetrack, contact right on the driver's sidebar of the 00 Smulders, but he kept his foot in it.
So right now, Stratford finds himself behind Brian Nanakoke, sitting in the 4th spot. Remember, Brian Nanakoke last time out here ended up in that crash with Dale Kern and smashed up the front of his machine. Not sure. Most likely a new chassis for the 9C, the Canada Fuels ride, as he sits in that 3rd spot looking stout. But here comes Stratford to the inside of him. He'll blow by.
Rob Neely went 8th to 4th in his heat. Stratford has gone 8th to 3rd as Greg Smulders gets into the right rear tire of John Cadman in the 71. My goodness, that 00 has been close to some action tonight.
Stratford now to the inside of Austin Rose looking for the 2nd spot. He'll take it away. But Mac DeMann is giddy up and gone, way out in front right now. It's going to take a lot of work for Stratford to reel in the leader.
Sheldon Bender in the 97 just made a pass for that all-important 6th position. That is the last ticket into the A main. And he's not done. He's moving in on Brian Nanakoke in that 9C. Greg Smulders is still there as we're about to get the white flag for Mac DeMann. 1 more lap around as Smulders gets squirrely in turn number 2, loses a lot of ground.
White flag out for leader Mac DeMann. He'll work by Victor Bomberry down the back stretch and into corners 3 and 4 for the final time. Off of corner 4, the win will go to the highlight man, Mac DeMann.
Second place after starting 8th is Brett Stratford. Austin Rose going to come home 3rd. John Cadman with an impressive 4th, and as Sheldon Bender and Brian Nanakoke heading to the B main, it'll be Greg Smulders and Victor Bomberry. One more of our Slack Lumber heats as Clinton Jeffrey tunes.
Yeah, I just want to mention, guys, McDeman had something go awry in Tech a few weeks ago. They appealed it. It was overturned. He's actually the point leader ahead of Larry Gledhill and Brett Stratford. So just want to make sure we got that straightened out. Here's our Case IH track report on Case IH Farmer Garden Night. Let's talk about it. O'Neill's and everybody here tonight. Guys, look how smooth this is getting. Coming in beautifully. We continue to work it right up to the top. Still have this area. You're seeing us pack these cars every couple of heats. And here's what's going on. Trying to take these clumps and move them up or pack them in so it doesn't turn into a big rut or a curb here. And we'll keep pushing them in, and the work on this whole row as we go along. Either pack them or tuck them. And the idea is to move this track, this smooth surface, right up to the top. There's your KHIH track report as we get halfway through the night, or at least halfway through qualifying, guys.
Now, did you notice Clinton keeps the point standings in his left pocket? Did you notice that? Like, he says the points as he's looking down at what that might have been a smartphone in his hand, or it might have just been the magic points tablet.
No.
And slides it back.
Mr. Pronunciation Snob. For God forbid I get one guy wrong, we'd be hearing it all night. So.
Listen, I only ask that you get it right. That's all. Only the hard ones.
That's fair. We will continue to work it as you see them pack this upside groove here a little bit. Just trying to keep that curve down. As we mentioned, the best track we've had so far. Looking forward to a great night of racing, guys.
Here's how they'll line up on the pole in the 88 out of Brantford. Recently celebrated his best finish ever, getting on the podium. Made it onto the concrete earlier this season. The 88 is Lance Erskine. On the outside of the front row is the Iceman from Six Nations. The 20 is Johnny Miller. Third in the MK8 from Ohsweken is Matt Hill. Fourth from Mancaster. The 16X is Keegan Baker. Fifth from Ohsweken, the 99 is Joshua Hill. Sixth from Thamesford, the 45 is Curtis Gartley. Seventh from Port Perry, the 4B is Daryl Peltier. And rounding out the field from Hagersville, the 11W is Jeremy May.
Joshua Hill with problems on that parade lap. He's over there on the pit lane getting pushed back to his pit stall. So 7 cars remain on the track. Again, 1 car will go to the B main.
Battle at the front. Erskine holds the lead, but the Iceman is right there with the bright orange wing. That 20 machine, Curtis Gartley, looking sporty there as he closes in the 45. Nobody really streaking away from this one.
Lance Erskine so close to his first career win when we raced last on June the 9th. Came up 1 spot short to McDeman, and Johnny Miller, the Iceman, looking as potent as he has in a while. That car is hooked up and running the way we're used to seeing Johnny Miller race.
Daryl Peltier up out of the groove there in 3 and 4. He was able to maintain control, but he's lost a little bit of ground. Jeremy May figuring things out in that 11 machine. Out in front, though, it's all Lance Erskine at the halfway point. The top 2 have pulled away from Curtis Gartley in 3rd and that 45. Keegan Baker right there in 4th, and then in 5th. Man, Daryl Peltier is flirting with disaster on these exits.
5 laps on the board, 3 to go for Lance Erskine, who's continuing to show that he can run up front. Close call there, Keegan Baker and Daryl Peltier down in corner 2.
2 laps to go for Lance Erskine as he's put some daylight between himself and Johnny Miller. The best battle on the track right now is for 4th. Keegan Baker has the spot in the 16, but Daryl Peltier closing in the 4B.
White flag goes up in the air for Lance Erskine in the 88 over Johnny Miller. Curtis Gartley. Gartley with a good solid performance right now in that 3rd spot in the Vipon ride.
All of those cars in a transfer spot, so they don't want to push it too far. Lance Erskine with the win. Johnny Miller 2nd, Curtis Gartley 3rd, 4th to Keegan Baker, just ahead of Daryl Peltier. Matt Hill puts himself in the show. Jeremy May is headed for the B main. So how about I'll do the Thunder stocks, Greg, so it leaves the sprint cars for you.
You do you, Adam.
It's not right when I do the sprint cars. It just doesn't feel appropriate. And we know if it doesn't feel appropriate, it's just not me. Middleport Mechanical Thunder stocks rolling on now for the first of their 2 semis. They're sponsored by Hunsingers, your go-to business for plumbing, electrical, and heating in Haldeman, Norfolk, Six Nations, and surrounding areas. And here's how they'll line up. The 96-0 is on the pole from Welland is John Overholt. Starting second from Canfield, the 32 is Mark Fawcett. Third from Brantford, the 13 is Casey Huffman. Fourth from Thorold, the 11 is Go Fast Teeple. Fifth from Ohsweken, the 93 is Melissa Miller. Sixth from Tilbury, the 17W is Travis Whittle. Seventh from Hamilton, the 07 is Scott McPhail. Eighth from Caister Center, the 28 is Jim Lampman. Ninth from Hagersville, the 23 is Trevor DeBoer. 10th from Ancaster, the 19 is Kyle Wirt. 11th from Hamilton, the 25 is Ken Sargent. 12th from Hardy, the 37 is Robert Hoskins. 13th from Hagersville, the 93K is Mike Klazinga. 14th from Dundas, the 24R is Rodney Rutherford. 15th from Belleville, the 0 is Tyler French. And rounding out the field from London, the 76 is Jamie Googe.
Off they go through 1 and 2. Already 3, almost 4 wide there as Travis Whittle got a little help from behind from Jim Lampman. Keeps that car going straight as they go around Overholt. And Lampman way out to the wall and 5 wide there off the corner.
They are many wide. 10 laps the distance. 10 cars transfer straight into the A main. Travis Whittle hanging on to it. Got all sorts of loose there in turn 2. That angry mob of Thunderstocks will be closing in no time. Out in front, Mark Fawcett is driven away. And he'll be thankful when he comes back and watches this that he wasn't part of this pack.
It's an interesting way to start the evening. If you're used to running qualifying heats, this is throwing you right into the fire, a feature-type race situation. It's been just that, as Mark Fawcett's had the only really easy go of it right now.
I think you're absolutely right. He is out in front by more than half a straightaway over Travis Whittle. What can we say more about this young man behind the wheel of the 17 machine? He has just done a great job this season.
Very impressive in that 17 as he's holding off Jim Lampman in that 3rd position. From there on back, it is pretty hairy. And the driver on the move right now has been Tyler French. Started in the back, and he's already up there with Melissa Miller and Trevor DeBoer tracking down the top 5.
Rodney Rutherford started 14th, and he's working into the top 5 as well. So this track really to the liking of a couple of drivers out there. As we reach the halfway mark, 5 laps down, 5 laps to go. Melissa Miller's been struggling a little bit with that 93 car. It pushes in the middle of the turn, and it really throws the cars around her for a loop.
Mark Fawcett continues to lead over Whittle, Lampman, and now the rest of the pack is caught as Kyle Wirt's right there behind. So is Ken Sargent.
What a move.
Wow.
Kyle Wirt just backs that car into turn number 1 and drives it down the hill, threading the needle and working his way up to the 2nd spot. Travis Whittle going to try to fight back. Not so fast for Kyle Wirt, but still, he's ahead 1 position up to 3rd.
Up the banking it goes in front of Travis Whittle. Whittle will cross him over, comes back down to the inside. Good 5-car race back there from 2nd on back to 6th.
Kyle Wirt way up to the outside. That opens the door for Jim Lampman in the 28. Travis Whittle is going to regret having gone down the racetrack in that 17 machine as Lampman slides up, has to roll out of the throttle a little bit. Look at Rodney Rutherford roll in that 24.
One more time around for Mark Fawcett, leading the way over a straightaway advantage now over Kyle Wirt, Jim Lampman, and Rodney Rutherford.
Final time through 3 and 4, and Fawcett going to have his way with this one and take that checkered flag. And then we will wait for 2nd place. Kyle Wirt going to come home 2nd, Lampman 3rd, then it's Rutherford, Sargent, Whittle, French, DeBoer, Hoskins, with Mike Klazinga getting the final transfer spot just ahead of Scott McPhail and Melissa Miller. It's hard to say anything definitively right now, Greg, but I definitely enjoyed that.
I think you get a little bit more competition than you do in traditional qualifying heats.
The second semi going to roll out like this. 15 cars will be on the track. On the pole from Guelph, the 79 is Chris Hale. Second from Thorold, the 196 is Tyler LaFantasy. Third from Keister Center, the 28D is Donnie Lampman. Starting on the outside of row number 2 from Hamilton, the 43 is Kyle Andrus. Fifth from Canfield, the 03 is George Grossel. Sixth from Caledonia, it's Mikey Bobby, Mike Thorne in the 55. Seventh from Binbrook, the 427 is Tim Phelan. Eighth from Port Colborne, the 11R is Bryce Richardson. Ninth from Burlington, the 97 is Ron Logie. 10th from Jerseyville, the 53 is Logan Schwedig. 11th from Hagersville, the 8 is Ryan Dinning. 12th from Victoria, the 84 RK is Ryan Beagle. 13th from Hagersville, the 49 is Dave Bailey. 14th from Morpeth, the 5G is Darcy Grant. And rounding out the field from Brighton, the 26 is Jonah Mutton.
Off the go into corner 1. Donnie Lampman, Christopher Hale, and Hale comes out on top as they head into corner number 3. The Fantasy and Mikey Bobby are side by side right now.
Couple of metrics out in front with Chris Hale and Donnie Lampman. Then it's Mike Thorne squeezing up in front of LaFantasy as they race down into turn 1. Problem for Ryan Beagle as he has lots of smoke out the back of that 84 machine as he limps his way to the pit area.
Few different cars that are showing puffs of smoke. The 427 has some issues down there in 1, you can see, and Logan Schwedig's been trailing a little wisp of smoke here and there as well in the 53.
I can see the 420 smoking, but the 427 doesn't make sense to me.
Now, did you not just give him the nickname Smokey not too long ago?
I did, Smokey Tim Phelan. I got a message about it later on after that race too, and it wasn't hate mail either, so. It's not official until he puts it on the car somewhere.
Christopher Hale out in front over Donnie Lampman. Mike Thorne in the 3rd position. Big gap back to the battle for the 4th spot. Logie, Grossel, and Dinning.
Halfway through this one with a great battle deep in the pack. Remember, Phelan into the outside wall. He did everything but lift out of the throttle and gathering that in. Logan Schwedig in the 53 squirts on by. Phelan at the stripe had the 10th spot. That is the last ticket into the main event.
Here's the 2 Monte Carlos out in front. Hale and Donnie Lampman, 1 and 2. Mike Thorne has caught the top 2. He's right there within striking distance for this win.
Yeah, Thorne having a solid run out there in that 55. The top 3 halfway straight away ahead of this battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th. Ryan Dinning, Ron Logie, Dave Bailey, George Grossel giving that 03 a heck of a drive. As soon as I say that, that car just wouldn't turn down in turn number 1.
Jonah Mutton has caught the pack here with Tim Phelan and Tyler LaFantasy. 2 laps left to go. Hale pulling away from 2nd and 3rd now as...
trouble.
Grossel goes around in 2.
Everybody able to avoid the 03. That is going to shuffle this deck for sure.
Leaving 2 laps left on the board.
Doug Leonard telling the drivers, get single file while we sort out the lineup, and then they'll be able to double them up. I don't know if Grossel has a tire going down or what. He was turning great laps out there, racing in the top 5. And things went away fairly suddenly. Lineup is good. Chris Hale going to elect the outside for the restart. So right now the 10th spot is held down by Tyler LaFantasy. Sorry, by Craig Handley in that 26. So Phelan is one spot out looking in. Remember, the top 10 make it in. And if you get in the top 10, you get to start where your handicap spot is. If you don't make it into the top 10 and out of this semi, the best you can start is 22nd. No, 21st, because they'll all be in one. Concy.
Here comes Ryan Denning down to the inside of Chris Hale, looking for the lead off of corner number 4. But we got one around Grant in corner number 2, backing it into the infield. Looks like they're going to stay green here.
Doug Leonard at the last minute, hoping Grant will avoid the pole on the infield. There was a lot going on there. George Grossel putting out all sorts of smoke from that 0-3 machine. Tim Phelan got the final transfer. So Denning, Hale, Logie, Thorne, Bailey, Schwedick, Richardson, Handley, LaFantasy, and Phelan qualify for the feature event. Andrus, Grossel, Lampman, Grant, and Beagle will be headed for the B main, and we'll have to find out what is going on with the Ryan Beagle 84, our points leader, coming into this event 3 points ahead of Kyle Wirt. Things did not start out well for Ryan Beagle.
So time for qualifying heats for the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack Merchandising Sprint Cars.
Well, guys, over here, problems with the Lampman. Looks like the Donnie Lampman 28T got a left front issue, tie rod issue. There was contact on the back straightaway with Dave Bailey, and I wonder if that might have been the issue here, but maybe they can get this one fixed. Jack, you keep shooting that. I'll find out. Donnie, looks like a tie rod. Is that something you guys got in the trailer?
It's not a tie rod. He said it's the lower A-frame on the left side here. Hopefully we do have one there. I felt it starting to go at about maybe lap 4, hoping it would hold up. Bit of contact there and some digging on the track, I think, sent it the rest of the way. So we'll be back in the con seat, hopefully back for the feature.
All right, thanks, Donnie. We're going to take a look here. Yeah, Jack's showing it to you. Yeah, it is all beat up, and you can see in here, guys, this lower control arm has come out of the car, so that's the issue. The other thing I want to show you, Jack, how about this? Our new tow truck, guys. No secret, a few weeks ago we were struggling to get the late models towed off. Our push truck crew built this tow truck and bought it for us, so now we have our own in-house. We have 3 tow trucks here ready to go nightly, guys. We are trying to make the improvements as needed.
All right, qualifying lineup for the first of 3 heats for the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack Merchandising Sprint Cars. Rolling off from the pole out of Brantford in car number 10 is downtown Mitch Brown. To his outside from Niagara Falls in 70 machine, it's Bailey Hurd. Rolling off third from Dunnville in the 15, that'll be Ryan Turner. And DJ Christie out of Beachville starts in position number 4. He's in car number 5. Jamie Turner in the 11. He's from Caister Center. He'll roll off in the 5th spot. Alongside of him in the 6th position from Grimsby, Travis Cunningham in the 90. Starting in 7th, the Ohsweken Flyer. Glenn Stiers hot off his 3rd place finish back on June the 2nd here. Starting in 8th out of Hamilton, the 19D, Alan Downey. And starting in 9th out of St. Catharines, the 46, that'll be Kevin Pauls. All transfer, 9 cars in this first qualifying heat.
So Spencer, I've got to report a problem up here because the telestrator still works, but my screen is frozen, so I can't really tell where the information's going. So the pen works, but
the operator
I'm
works,
still
but
looking at Thunderstocks, which I can make it work for my skill set. I can still do what I need to do.
Did you hit pause and play and all that off on that button?
Let me hit some more buttons. Spencer be going crazy.
See?
Yeah, that made a huge difference, Calvin.
Oh, I thought that was him doing that, but that was you.
Yeah, that was me. Pushing all
That
the
was fun till you broke it.
Yep, I enjoyed it.
All right, Mitch Brown, Bailey Hurd ready to bring us to the green flag of the first of 3 qualifying heats for the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack Merchandising Sprint Cars.
Bailey Hurd going up the racetrack to get a run at that green flag, but that opened the door for DJ Christie. Out in front, it's Mitch Brown by 5 car lengths over Christie in the bright yellow number 5.
Mitch Brown leads lap number 1 in car number 10. DJ Christie tracking him down. A good fight for that 3rd spot. Ryan Turner on the bottom. Bailey Hurd on the outside.
Bailey Hurd, we've talked a lot about this young man from Niagara Falls. What a great job he's doing. You know, he's battling with Ryan Turner, the winner of multiple Canadian Sprint Car Nationals.
Winner on Saturday night down at Merrittville Speedway with the Southern Ontario Sprints. Holding down the 3rd spot. All the while, it's Mitch Brown out front over DJ Christie. Ryan Turner, wow, he was tracking the top 2 down, and something weird happened off corner 2 there.
We watched the 15 of Ryan Turner again in attack mode, but he's not really pulling away from Bailey Hurd. Travis Cunningham in 5th. All of the top 5 sort of running together. A bit of a gap back to Alan Downey in the 6th spot.
One and two, lots of room up top for these drivers to work. We can see 3 and 4. That darker clay still clumped up a little bit. The groove down lower. With 2 laps left to go, the leaders up in 1 and 2 are ripping right around the top, especially DJ Christie.
And DJ Christie looked as though he was closing in on Mitch Brown early in this race, and then Mitch found something to his liking out there and found a line with that 10 car.
Caution out, Kevin Pauls around a corner 2. So there in that shot, you can even see how high and wide the track is down in 1 and 2 compared to 3 and 4. Kevin Pauls in that body line out of Recyclers number 46, pointed in the wrong direction.
The Juicy J's number 10 of Mitch Brown as the crew goes to work. They'll rock the car out of gear for Kevin Pauls and then roll it around so it's pointed the right direction, and then they'll push him off.
Guys, simple turn here in turn 2 for Pauls. Should be able to just fire it off and go. Doesn't appear to have anything wrong with the car.
You've broken it, Adam.
I didn't
come to terms with that.
I will not, but I'm going to play with some features while we've got a moment here.
Oh, zoom in.
Well, that's a neat feature. I can see why John Madden used to get pretty pumped up about that. Double file restart. Mitch Brown chooses the inside in that 10 machine as we head down towards the green flag.
Back underway we go in the Cargoese restart zone. Mitch Brown launches out of the corner with a big lead. Ryan Turner working the inside. Glenn Stiers has problem, gets off track up in corner number 1. It's Turner and Christie working for the 2nd spot. Turner takes the spot away. It's been DJ Christie that's been working the high side in 3 and 4. He's really the only one up there trying to widen out the racetrack.
He's doing what he can down there, but it's not going to pay off in this one. Checkers go to Mitch Brown, Turner, Christie, Hurd, Cunningham, Downey, Turner, Pauls, and Stiers.
Mitch Brown carrying that Schrecker sticker on the top wing. Want to give a shout out to Shrek and family. I know last time we were on a broadcast here, he was tuned in. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, great to see the updates coming about and some improvements being found, and we want to hear more and more of those improvements.
I think if you hit a few more buttons, it might start working. It's bothering you that it doesn't work now.
No, it's bothering me that there's no obvious push this button and everything will be okay.
It's like Christmas morning and the new toy you just got broke a half an hour into owning it.
It is just like that.
No, don't start. Oh, my. Oh, now we don't have any screen. Oh, he did it. He did it. Touchdown. Woo. You the man, Adam.
Success. That was pinpoint accuracy. How about you give the lineup? There's a race going to happen.
Talk about Geek Squad up here. Mike Bowman starts on the pole. He's out of St. Catharines in the 71. Josh Hansen out of Beamsville, the 88H on the outside of him. And you've got Dave McKnight in the 70 M&M alongside out of Lewiston, New York, the 81. That's Derek Jonathan. Corey Turner, the defending champ in the 17X, to his outside. Holly Porter in the 1. Darren Dryden in the 12 Double D. And Tyler Powlis in the 70-17.
Way to get all that in. Josh Hansen with a big head of steam, but Mike Bowman right in the line he would have wanted. Down the back straightaway, Bowman going to lead them into turn 3.
Bowman leads the lap over Josh Hansen. Hansen's been so strong here in 2023 and looking to find out if he can become a champion. He comes in as the point leader by a fair amount over Ryan Turner in that 88H.
Tell you, Corey Turner in the 17X really struggled at the start of that one. He's at the back of the pack right now. Well, I don't know if something amiss on that race car or if he just had to avoid something in the opening lap, but Corey Turner has a lot of ground to make up.
Wow, that was a close call down in 3 and 4. Tyler Powlis, Corey Turner, and Dave McKnight. And I'll tell you what, Tyler Powlis, that time's a little too much. Keeps a foot in the throttle, and he'll keep it on track. Oh, I think he might have killed it there, so we'll go under the caution flag here to get Tyler Powlis a push off, but he was hauling the mail before that spin.
You know, and that's what you've got to do is find out where your car will work, race near someone that you trust and sort of look at what they do and try to do the same, and I think that's probably what led him to spinning out there in turn 2, trying to keep pace with Corey Turner.
Keep an eye on that 17X, guys. He did scrub the front stretch wall just before Powlis turned around in turn 1. So the 17 of Turner was right up against the fence that time. How about our new O'Neill's Pace push truck that we've got out there? Our new push truck crew doing a great job. Steve Lyons at Creative Edge getting our O'Neill's push truck together in memory of Zoe Peyton Smith, who is a big part of the Smith family here in O'Neill's, and we appreciate Casey and all their family and everything they do for us. And our Case IH tractor relationship, just fantastic to work with, and super happy to see Zoe Peyton Smith up on the push truck and putting her to work right now, guys.
Tyler Powlis gets the push off, back under power.
Now, I don't mean to dwell on this victory, Greg, but how shocked were you that I did?
I really thought the whole system was going to be shut down. I thought we were going to see the blue screen of death.
I thought we might see that nonsense on the main feed and really screw things up.
You were worried about the blue screen of death. I was worried about the red wizard of death coming upstairs to straighten you out.
Back under the green flag, and boy, Mike Bowman got the notice that it was green flag. No one else did. He took off from the rest of the field.
Holly Porter was up on the wheel in that one machine. She's up to the 3rd spot. You'll look to the inside on Josh Hansen. Corey Turner in that Lone Wolf Fireworks 17. Something still doesn't look quite right on that 17 machine as he tries to close in on Darren Dryden and Derek Jonathan, and Turner way loose there in turn 4.
And you can see that scuff mark on the right rear where he caught the wall, as Clint mentioned. He and Tyler Powlis go back and forth. And troubles for an 8th and Ackland Racing 17X of Corey Turner. He's keeping pace, but just a handful right now for Corey.
Last time down the back straightaway, Mike Bowman with 15 car lengths over Josh Hansen. And Mike Bowman going to take the checkered flag in this heat. Hansen comes home second. Then it'll be Holly Porter, Darren Dryden, Derek Jonathan, Corey Turner. Tyler Paulus and Dave McKnight.
So Mike Bowman in the Dynablast. Ryko, number 71, picks up the heat race win in that GSR chassis. Josh Hansen, point leader, crosses the line in the second spot over Holly Porter. Darren Dryden did some work coming from the back of the pack up to the fourth spot. And Derek Jonathan completing the top five as we see the sun setting here on another Friday night at Ohsweken Speedway. Good to see the sun after the last couple of weeks and all the rain that we've had, but a beautiful night here tonight as the third and final qualifying heat hits the racetrack for the Cool Kids Ice and Water Corps Pack Merchandising Sprint Cars. On the pole out of Ben Brook in car number 9, that'll be the live wire, Liam Martin, and alongside him out of St. Williams in the 21, John Burbridge. Starting in third out of Ohsweken, the 68 is Aaron Turkey, and his dancing partner in row number 2 in the fourth spot out of Scotland, the 87X, that's Sean Evans. In the fifth position from Brantford, the 49L, Lucas Smith, and Eric Gledhill from Thamesford in the 7s lines up in the sixth spot. Dylan Westbrook out of Scotland, D-Dubs in the 47X, he'll start 7th. And Nick Sheridan out of Mount Bridges lines up 8th in the 45.
This will be the end of our qualifying heats. Four rows of 2 neatly bunched together on the back straightaway. While we've got the opportunity, let's say a special hello. John Burbridge Jr., the driver of that 21 machine. We want to say hi to John Burbridge, his father, watching from home. We hope you feel better real soon.
Yeah, I wish you were at the racetrack here tonight, John, but nonetheless, Junior right now in that fourth spot is Sean Evans, goes around the outside, takes the second spot away. And at the line, it's going to be Liam Martin, your leader.
Dylan Westbrook just makes a move on Burbridge and slides right up the track with him in that 47. So some of our hot shoes out here tonight we're seeing have trouble with the handling as Aaron Turkey off the pace in the 68. He slows and drives that car to the inside of the racetrack. It looks like he's going to pull off into the infield off of turn 4.
All Liam Martin out in front over Sean Evans and Dylan Westbrook making hay. Started in the 7th position. He's up to position number 3 now with 5 laps still to go.
Nick Sheridan, after a shaky start in that 45, and we'll go yellow for the 68 of Aaron Turkey, just a little bit too close to the racing action. He just came up lame off a turn 2 down the backstretch. Clinton Jeffrey going up to get close and personal. Did it jump out of gear, Clinton, or what do you think might have happened?
I said, Aaron, what's up? When he pointed to the motor, said thumbs down. I said, blown. He said, don't know. So engine troubles for the 68 of Aaron Turkey. Decided to shut it off, guys. And a quick note also, Lucas Smith was late comer into the pits tonight in that 49L. He had a bad crash last week at Maryville, destroyed his car. That's a brand new GSR chassis that they put him in this week, guys. So a new chassis manufacturer for Lucas Smith here tonight.
Good work, Clinton Jeffrey. We got a guest we're going to talk to right after this heat up here in the tower, Curtis Gart. That's a long walk, Curtis. Okay, that's how I would roll. I'd catch an Uber. So once this heat race is over, we'll head towards intermission, and we're going to have a chat with Curtis Gartley, who's joined us up here in the tower.
So Martin and Evans will bring us back to the green flag, creeping down to the Cargo Ease restart zone to the flag stand of Dave Hunsinger. Back under power they go, and Evans wheel to wheel with Martin this time down into corner 1.
Evans kind of fired first. It was Martin's green flag to launch, but Liam went anyhow, and they swap a couple of sliders. Liam will throw another one in 3 and 4, and Evans will return the favor. What a lap.
How do you do? Lap number 4, Sean Evans, the leader there. Here comes Dylan Westbrook into the mix. Close call there with Eric Gledhill and Nick Sheridan Gledhill gathers it back up, but all the way back to the 8th position.
That took all the ability he had to gather that in and not clobber the wall there in turn number 2. Out in front is Sean Evans, and now Nick Sheridan up off the track in turn 2, all by his lonesome. That had to make Gledhill feel bad.
2 laps left to go in this one. It's all Sean Evans working by Liam Martin and Dylan Westbrook holding his own out front. Sean Evans will see the white flag and a statement move there on Liam Martin to take the lead and walk away.
He put an exclamation mark on that move for sure as Sheridan closes in on Burbridge to swing around to the outside. Final time through 3 and 4. Sean Evans going to take the heat race win. He'll be followed by Liam Martin, Dylan Westbrook, Eric Gledhill, Lucas Smith, Nick Sheridan, and John Burbridge. That'll do it for our qualifying heats. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back...
No, B main. Little premature there.
I was premature. Not even a break.
Cool your jets, bud.
Well, I didn't see anything lined up there, and all of a sudden they're running. So let's chat. We got Curtis Gartley up here. And you came all this way, Curtis. What's going on?
I just wanted to let everybody know we're promoting a race at Little Middleton on July the 11th in my dad's memorial. So come out and watch those kids run. They put on a heck of a show, and glad to put that together for them.
You know, you do so much, and you do it to honor your father. You've done lap sponsorship, different kind of endeavors. Why is that so important to you, Curtis, aside from the obvious?
Well, yeah, like my dad was around racing his whole life, basically, and got me into racing, and we just had so much fun together. And if I can do anything to aid other people having fun and keep his name out there, I'm going to do it for sure.
Curtis, stick around. We'll talk a little bit more after this B main.
8 cars scheduled to make the call, but I only see 5 out there right now. Adrian Staley not making the call, so it's Smulders and Young on the front row. Jeremy May was supposed to make the call. I don't believe he is out there.
Yep, Jeremy May made it in the 11.
Oh, yes, he's out there along with Dale Curran and Victor Bomberry. So we're missing Tyler Ward, Joshua Hill, and Adrian Staley, the pole sitter. So 1 car will not transfer here from this B main.
There was supposed to be 8 in schedule. 3 have not made the call. Doug just made the call over the radio. We shortened this up to 8 laps instead of 12. Here we go.
8 laps, top 4 transfer. Dale Curran, former feature winner, not in a spot he's used to in a B main. Smulders and Young right now out in front, duking it out for the win in this one. Young, have to check to see if this is his first B main of the year, because he's had good fortune so far in the first 3 weeks.
He really has. I'm interested in watching Jeremy May in that 11 machine, so you got to know he's nervous as all heck out there. He's hanging on to that 4th spot right now. Victor Bomberry is 5th, but he's put a good gap, about half a straightaway. Remember, 1 car out of this field, not going to make it to the big dance.
Trevor Young out in front. Here comes Curran working that outside line. Now, we saw him pull off during that qualifying heat. He gets run out of room there on the front stretch. Maybe just working some of the kinks out of that car after the big crash back on the 9th.
Dale Curran keeps getting a run to the outside on corner exit, but Smulders is coming up to the wall. Curran hasn't quite got the nose far enough up that it demands the respect of Smulders in the 00 there.
Oh, wow, he was there.
That was a little closer. That made...
Oh, and into the wall and a big flip for Dale Curran, and Jeremy May just gets around.
So this will be an irritated Dale Curran. And not that Greg Smulders had nothing to do with that accident, but Dale Curran frustrated the last few laps as it was. So you know that frustration is going to still be on the face of Curran as he's...
That was a hard roll over there in the CN Produce 31C. Last time out, the big crash up in corner 2 with Brian Nanico. And not the way he wanted his night to end here.
Well, Dale Curran out under his own power, guys, taking a look at a very dejected young man, as you can imagine. 2 bad flips in 2 races here at Ohsweken. And we'll let him catch his breath here, but this is a tough break for this small team. They just build it all back together, guys, since their last visit here after they got in the jingle up with Brian Nanicoke. And give me a second here, guys. We'll try and find out what went wrong. Well, I see a drive shaft out of the car. And if that came out, did that possibly catapult it?
No. No, some evasive action with the 00 and then the outside wall, Clinton, and I think that was enough to really launch that car. Spencer, if you want to show that again.
Yeah, that replay pretty much told the story. And Dale Curran came into tonight 4th in the standings with McNamara now atop the pile.
Dale, I know you're upset, but just tell everybody you're okay. That's all we need to hear from you, bud.
Yeah, no, I'm all right. I'm just upset. I rode off 2 race cars in 2 weeks. Not a good couple of weeks, but hopefully we'll be back. Can't thank my sponsors enough. CN Produce, Veggie Shack, Nathan Macklin. Yeah, I really can't thank them enough. This wouldn't be possible without them. But, yeah, kind of sucks.
It certainly does. How about it for one of our young and upcoming stars, Dale Curran, ladies and gentlemen. His mom and dad worked real hard to get him out here. And he said, we just wrecked 2 cars in 2 weeks. Very dejected, as you can imagine.
I'll tell you what I respect about what Dale Curran was doing there. In hindsight, he probably should have cut under the 00 Greg Smulders. It was 3 times he had given him that line. But what I respect is he wanted it to work.
Yeah.
He was doing the right things. He just needed to get that left front to where Smulders could see him. And that's always the best way to come back from an issue is, you know, if you fail on the outside, you want to succeed out there. And just ran out of racetrack.
Well, we got parts stuck down deep in the mud here, and we pulled that one out. The one thing I want to show you guys once we get it up in the air here, this is broken off right here. So this frame is destroyed, guys. Another frame gone here for the Curran family, and you can see it's shattered off, broken right there. This chassis cannot be repaired. Jack, come on back here. We got all rear end tore out of it. I don't even want to talk about it no more. It's just bad, guys.
Well, I'll tell you what. The best modified driver of all time, you could argue, is Matt Shepard. And he destroyed a race car and blew an engine last night.
Yeah.
In two separate issues. So it happens to everybody. It's just a matter of when.
And how bad.
But for sure, Dale Curran disappointed with how that wound up. So, Curtis, while we've still got you, you've had the opportunity to run 360 sprint cars, and you've had the opportunity to run the crate. What's the difference in the sensation there, and how are you enjoying running the crate car?
Well, with the 360, it basically rips your eyebrows off. They're a beast and a half to drive. We really had a lot of fun with it. We were just out of our league for money and stuff like that. So after my dad passed away, the amount of workload that was there that he wasn't able to do anymore, we decided to sell the 360 and get into crates. And I've had a blast with the crates, right? It's a great class to run in. And the fact that we all got the same motor and everything, it's just a lot of fun. I have a blast.
Can you compare the thrill to racing it to the thrill of the 360, or is there an obvious difference having done both?
I think that for me, being a micro sprint guy before, I kind of compare the crate to the micro sprint. A lot of momentum, and you can kill the motor pretty quick if you don't keep your momentum up. The 360, you just smash the throttle and the 700 horsepower pulls you back out of it. So yeah, it's just a different animal. The car is the same, but your setup approach is a little bit different, which was a little bit for us to get used to. But yeah, they're both super fun to drive. Just so much. I feel so privileged to be able to do it and race with all these guys every week.
Thanks so much for joining us, Curtis. July 11th at Little Middleton is the memorial race for your dad.
Yep, thanks for having me up here. I really appreciate it. And yeah, if you can come out to Little Middleton and watch these kids race, you won't be disappointed.
We'll be right back with more on G-Force TV.
For over 100 years, our company has been unique, a world leader in high-precision products, fully committed to energy efficiency and friction reduction. Today is the day to start a new chapter, a new step of our company. Today is the day to share our vision, our contribution, our identity. At the heart of our DNA, there is a name. Namerica. We are NTN, and we make the world Namerica. We are all together. We design precision engineering. We believe in a fluid, mobile, and harmonious society. We build positive mobility. We are NTN, and with willingness, conviction, and humility, we make the world Namerica.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Wick perfected fire. Quick Wick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Wick retailer at quickwick.com.
Ohsweken Speedway Racing on G-Force TV is brought to you by Tiffany Gate. Indulge in a world of fresh meals, sides, salads, and more. Welcome back live to Ohsweken Speedway. We'll send it down to Quick Wick Victory Lane, where Clinton Jeffrey has our Nathan Ackland Insurance Top Gun Award winners.
Thanks a lot, Greg. I'm here with first Brett Stratford. We'll talk to Sean Evans in a second. Brett, another good run for you, man. This GSR chassis looking really good. You got to feel really good coming in. Tonight, you're still near the top of the points, but you got a couple spots to make up.
Yeah, this car that I'm driving is absolutely incredible. And as long as I can hit my marks and do everything right, we definitely have the car to win tonight. So.
Right on, Brett. Well, how's the track looking? It looks fairly smooth and getting better all the time.
Actually, yeah, it's actually really good. It's got a ton of grip, a ton of slick spots. Actually, it's probably going to be a really good race tonight.
Right on, Brett. We'll let you get back to work on your crew.
Thank you.
Brett Stratford going out. Sean Evans is next here in line. Sean, great run for you. I mean, any night you can start here on the concrete and take Nathan's money is a good start, especially since you and Nathan go back a long way, and I know you really like to take Nathan's money.
I do enjoy taking Nathan's money, yeah. I mean, it was... he likes to give it away, and I like to take it. So I don't get to usually do this too often, to take his money up here with the guys that we have back there, but tonight was my night, I guess.
You're a veteran in this group. What do you think tonight? Track's coming around a long time. Best track we've had all summer. What do you think so far?
Track's been really good. Actually, I was surprised on how grippy it was, and I mean, it's still slick in spots, which is perfect. Should be a great race surface for the future.
All right, there's Sean Evans, ladies and gentlemen, our 360 Top Gun award winner. He'll pick up $200 from Nathan Ackland, and Stratford will take home $100. That's it from Victory Lane, guys. We'll be back with B mains coming up. We got 5 features and a couple B's still to go.
Whoa. What? Am I seeing things?
Yes.
Is,
what?
Are you seeing what I'm seeing down there?
Oh, yes. We've got laser lights in the infield. Good eye.
Holy jumping. I thought I was having a moment here. Oh. Wow. No, we don't need to test the finish line idea. If there was going to be one, it would be right about there. See? Done. It's a piece of cake. What I really need is a close-up frozen of Clinton Jeffries' face so I can draw the bananas he is going to have to eat as part of our weight loss challenge.
I think we better not.
Probably not.
Actually, you go ahead. You go ahead, and we'll see who I'm working with next Friday.
So what? That's all we need to do is when we have a finish of this race.
You can change colors?
You can change colors, and you can make it so it draws a straight line so my shaky hand doesn't matter as much. So that's a good straight line. That's a good start-finish line right there. We could put it anywhere. We could put it over here. We can mess with things. Say, tonight, folks, sorry to the people in the grandstands who can't see. But if we can make those images appear in the infield like that, I should get a drawer where we can draw lines anywhere on the track.
Now, wait till it gets darker with these things. This is interesting. I like this.
That's trippy. It freaks me out.
Should we do the Jamie Maudsley thing?
If you can,
I don't know word for word, but let's do it. All right, folks, we're getting ready for the Thunderstocks to head to the racetrack, but take out your cell phone, reach in your pocket, take out your cell phone, and I want you to take a shot of these cars coming out on the track or take a selfie of yourself, tag it Ohsweken Speedway, share it on social media, get a buzz going on Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is. And if you weren't able to reach in your pocket and find your cell phone, we have it up here in the tower. That's Jamie's long way of saying we found a cell phone up here. Jamie joins us for the APC races. I like that way of finding it. It gets people kind of, okay, I'll get my cell phone out.
And he's good at it.
I butchered how he does it. But nonetheless, we do have a cell phone here in the tower. And if you can describe your lost phone to us, we will return it.
Looks like Scott McPhail going to start on the pole for this B main in the 07 alongside. It'll be Kyle Andrus in the 43. Melissa Miller in the 93 to her outside. It's Go Fast Teeple in the 11. Casey Huffman behind the wheel of the 13. Darcy Grant in the 5, the 96-0 of John Overholt. And rounding out the field, the 76 is Jamie Googe. And that is the first time I have introduced a starting lineup without a piece of paper with the starting lineup on it in years. Because I just don't. You get so reliant on it, you can't think. You read the words. And I've had some Ron Burgundy moments recently.
You're just firing on all cylinders tonight.
Right?
You're the tech genius up here, calling lineups without sheets in front of you. Ready to go. Last chance qualifier. 8 cars will transfer from this. And that's good because there's 8 cars in it.
That happens so often when there's 12 cars supposed to come out and only 8 make it. Like,
11 were called to the line.
This will be a 2.5 lap B main. Done. McPhail out in front in the 07. Teeple working the high side. Melissa Miller, that 93, looks to be handling quite a bit better than it did for in the heat race earlier on, or the semi rather. 3-car battle up at the front. McPhail leading, but not getting away.
So McPhail, Miller, and Teeple right now, the top 3. Then you've got Andrus, Huffman, and Grant back there. battle between 4th, 5th, and the 6th spot. Halfway home in this one. 3 on the board, 3 to go. They're going to make this a 6-lap race. Down from the original 10 as the top 3 continue to go at it. Go Fast Teeple to the outside of Melissa Miller. Troubles for Andrus.
Yeah, Kyle Andrus goes around there in turn 2. He's able to get that car rolling once again. Still a great side-by-side battle for the 2nd spot. Scott McPhail is out in front, but right behind him is Melissa Miller. And Go Fast Teeple battling door to door into turn 3.
Yeah, they've been going back and forth. Good little fight going on. Now Miller trying to gain ground on McPhail. Got a little bit twitchy there off of corner number 4. Miller closed the gap a bit with Teeple on the outside.
Last time down the backstretch, Scott McPhail looking pretty good, but he's going to have a good turn 3 and 4 because they are hard on the throttle right behind him. Checkered flag in the air as McPhail bobbles. He'll hang on for the win. Teeple 2nd. Melissa Miller 3rd. Darcy Grant in 4th. And it's Casey Huffman, John Overholt, Jamie Googe, and Kyle Andrus.
Derek Dockstader online says, anyone see the spin in the background? Now, was he talking about the spin of Kyle Andrus, or has he been talking about, I keep seeing on the screen, over on the cabana there, the pool house of Glenn's, there's this huge fan and it's spinning. But when the cars go by, it looks like something's spinning off the cars, and I caught it a couple of times.
Are you talking about an obese race fan? Like there's a huge fan.
No.
Or like that's downright rude, Greg. What is wrong with you? Are you talking about a spinning?
I totally was not thinking about what I said right there.
There's a huge fan in turn 2 distracting me. Well, do you have a lineup for this feature event? Because I'd like to.
I do.
Oh, you do it off your phone.
Yeah.
Well, why do they keep handing you the paper copy lineups?
I don't know.
When you don't use them, but I do.
Here. That should have been on camera.
Here's how they'll line up for this feature event after my temper tantrum in the tower. On the pole from Brantford, the 64 is Nick Erskine. On the outside of the front row from Ancaster, the 16 is Fabio Oliveri. Row 2 on the inside, the 01 from Waterdown is Tristan Da Silva. To his outside from Ohsweken, the 188 is Paul Longboat. 5th from Burlington, the 76 is Sean Taylor. 6th out of York, the 9 is Tim DeBoer. 7th in the 11E from Linden is Jeff Elsliger. 8th from Caledonia, the 265 is Mike Evers. 9th from Beamsville, the 7B is Braden Cuse. 10th from Waterford, the 4 is Wade Thorne. 11th from Port Colborne, the 14L is John Lubeck. 12th from Guelph, the 1 is Jason Tolton. I didn't think anything rhymed with Guelph until I said 12th. That was fabulous. 13th from Smithville, the 6X is Mike Sarantakos, and nothing rhymes with Sarantakos, although it does end with tacos. And I'm always hungry. 14th from Brantford, the 1A is Ashton Dickey. 15th from New Hamburg. 21H is Ryan Hiller. 16th from Niagara Falls, the 5K is Ken Hare. 17th from St. Catharines, the 17 is Alex Riley. 18th and the 34 from St. Anne's is Randy Alway. 19th from St. Catharines, the 4A is Mason Anderson. 20th from Welland, the 14 Double D of Dustin Duga. 21st from Paris, the 79 is Steve Miller. 22nd from Smithville, the 20J is Nathan Joyner. 23rd from Stratford, the 54 is Chris French. 24th from Leamington, the 88 is Steve Conway. 25th from Brantford, the 9K is Kylie Dixon. 26th from Beamsville, the 27 is Nico Hansen. And in the final row, on the inside from Beachville, the 66 is Martin Schroeder. And to his outside from Caledonia, it's the pinball, Mike Giberson in the 11. And that will take us to the ones to watch. As they have Nick Erskine slide back to the pack. Race director Doug Leonard saying, don't get out in front until that green flag flies. Green flag is out.
Off we go with the first feature of the night. Nick Erskine in the 64, the 16 of Fabio Oliveri. Oliveri works it down the hill, the lead down the backstretch into corner number 3.
Nico Hansen in that 27 with problems. He heads directly to the pit, so he got through the green flag and then took it pit side. Tristan De Silva working the high side in that 0-1 Let's Landscape Together Jib-sponsored machine. They race 3 wide still off of turn 2.
And it is Harry deep in the back right now. Back where we find Mike Sarantakos, Ryan Hiller, the most recent winner back there as well. 3-4 wide off the corner. Cars bouncing around.
Man, Steve Conway in that 88 can't catch a break. His night ends early as he wheels into the pits. Out in front, though, Fabio Oliveri. By 3 car lengths over Tristan De Silva. Tim DeBoer up into third in that 9 machine. Jeff Elsliger, who's already got a win this season, races in the 4th position in the 11th.
Yes, you got Fabio, 3rd place in points coming into tonight. And meanwhile, the 2 guys at the top of the pile are very deep in the pack. Hiller and Sarantakos trying to work their way up through the pack. Already 4 laps into this one, 11 to go. Oliveri out front over to Silva's. Elsliger works right out to the wall, as does Jason Dalton.
It is not good to have 1 in your number this lap. Dalton and Elsliger.
Oh! I'm sorry, but for those watching online, the drone got nailed with a chunk of clay. That was a neck breaker.
Did it go down?
I don't know, but that was a solid hit.
Now, this isn't, we had this issue. Jamie Maudsley had a fake drone attack a couple of weeks ago, but we think it was just a hiccup. Look at this battle at the front. Oliveri out in front, but he has pulled the competition up to him. De Silva, Elsliger, Wade Thorne, Ashton Dickey. All right there to do battle with that 16.
Field bearing down now on Kylie Dixon, who will keep the inside line through 1 and 2 as the leaders work all to the outside. It's Oliveri, De Silva, Wade Thorne, Elsliger, and right behind them is Ashton Dickey, the team car to Wade Thorne, the 1A. Matching paint schemes there.
Oliveri is really getting off at turn number 2 in the 16 as we reach the halfway point. 8 laps in, 7 laps remaining. Oliveri just pulls away off of turn 2, and Elsliger, my goodness, that shouldn't have worked.
Handful there we saw last time through corner 2 for Wade Thorne. He and Tristan De Silva door-to-door for the 2nd spot. Great close racing. I don't think they've touched yet, but they've come awful close.
Just fantastic side-by-side racing, but it's allowing Fabio Oliveri to get away. Thorne with a good run off of turn 2. Can he clear De Silva into 3, drives it deep, slides up in front of the 0-1. Now he'll try to close in on the 16.
And Ashton Dickey will follow suit down to the inside of the Jibs Action Sport number 0-1. Trying to track down leader Fabio Oliveri. This all happening right behind Fabio in the 16 machine.
Through 3 and 4, I'm going to look at timing and scoring to see who's quicker this time, because Thorne has had a full lap of open racetrack. Wow. Thorne is quicker, while we can see now that he's 2 car lengths behind, but he was 0.3 of a second faster that time around in the 4 machine. So it'll be 3 laps to go this time. He's got, whoa! Did Oliveri have a problem there? Did Thorne just not lift?
Thorne working that outside line, trying to get by the leader. This is the battle we've been watching. Dickey and De Silva along with Elsliger back there, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. As Oliveri continues to lead, but Thorne right there in his tire tracks. He really gets a big launch into corner number 3. He'll go deep, but Fabio gets more pull off the corner.
2 laps left this time as Fabio leads the way down into turn number 1. Thorne right behind him. Contact between the 2 leaders.
Here they go, the car width between them right now. Clear track in front of the top two. Thorne really throws it into the high side. In corner number 3, Fabio shuts the door. White flag is out.
Man, oh man, inside, outside, they can't decide. Again, Thorne shadows the leader into 1 and 2. Might have been a little bit of contact. Right up on the back bumper is Wade Thorne.
Here they go into 3. This is where Thorne gets the run on the outside line. Throws it in deep. Fabio on the bottom. He'll wash it up the banking. Here comes Thorne down to the bottom, but Fabio Oliveri will get the win.
Thorne going to hang on for second. Ashton Dickey third. Tristan De Silva fourth. And then rounding out the top 5 is Jeff Elsliger. 6th through 10th, it's Tacos, Hare, Riley, DeBoer, and John Lubeck. What a show that was.
Gerskin goes around on that final lap. He'll get things turned around and cross the stripe as Fabio Oliveri will go to victory lane. Brought to you by Quick Wick Fire Starter. This is the meat of Quick Wick Fire Starter season, you would think. Summer camping time. That's where I'm headed tomorrow with that Quick Wick Fire Starter. And Fabio, first win of the season for him, came in 3rd in the points, and he'll gain some ground on Mike Sarantakos and Ryan Hiller with this win as Lone Wolf Fireworks lights up the sky for tonight's winner, Fabio Oliveri. Well, there's the drone. It's still going. It survived.
He's got a lot of them. Ryan Hiller finished 11th, just outside of the top 10 as Clinton Jeffrey.
Let's watch the mud clod hit the drone. Oh!
So it looks like it just hit the camera maybe and knocked it up because the drone still looked pretty steady. Quick Wick Victory Lane is where we go for our True North Bet winners interviews. Clinton Jeffrey, take it away.
Thanks a lot. I'm Fabio Oliveri, going to climb out here. Been working hard and fast every week. Finally brings it to victory lane here, and he will jump down and have a word with us. As these other 2 teammates finish 2nd and 3rd behind him here. What a heck of a run they had, these guys going at it. And Wade Thorne don't look too happy. We'll see what his deal is. Well, Fabio, what a race there. You know, you were pushing really hard. It kind of looked like you guys had 2 different lines. Did you know where he was, and were you working that on purpose, or was that just the way your cars were working tonight?
No, I definitely did not know where he was until the last 3 laps when he gave me a good bump, and I just started to take up the whole track on him, and hopefully he fumbled a little bit and felt like he did a little, and we are here now, first place.
What a drive tonight. Let's talk about it. The track looked really good for you guys tonight.
Oh, it was immaculate. I can't thank everyone else in the crew that does all this work, and from what we were at the beginning of the season to now, you guys have done awesome. Thanks, guys.
Right on. Fabio Oliveri gets it done, guys. Give us a second. We'll get over here with Wade Thorne.
I found that refreshing that Fabio explained. I got hit from behind and I used all sorts of racetracks. So I have a feeling Wade Thorne is going to say the same thing, only with a different tone. Clinton, take it away.
Well, we got Wade here. Wade, you had a run-in. I mean, you're knocking on that back door the last couple of laps. Just 2 different lines, or how's it working out there?
The car was finally, for the first time all year, fast, consistent. We started with the same 4 tires that we did. That's huge for us. If it was anybody else, I probably would have just ran him over, but Fabio and I are good buddies, so I made sure he knew I was there, giving him the bumper a few times, but it's in one piece, other than the fuel line.
Right on. Let's talk about these team cars running pretty good for you nationally. It's a good showing.
Yeah, it's awesome. And, his dad told us, he's like, hey, if you guys get both on the podium this year, that'd just be probably the coolest thing. And I am so proud of this team. So happy we can finally get everybody out here. We got Jibs. My dad's been grinding on this thing so hard. It's good to get him some recognition, and other sponsors, Oakfield Trailers, The Shed, and of course ABC.
Right on. Wade Thorne gets it done. Give me a sec, guys. We'll jump in here with 3rd.
So team cars on the concrete here tonight as Ashton Dickey comes home in the 3rd spot.
So they're team cars. Do they not have a team? They're the only 2 down there.
Adam wants to know where your team is, Ashton. You guys are down here. Where's the rest of the crew?
The golf cart broke down right before the feature. If you see in the guys in my career, they're not running very fast. So,
great drive though for you and Wade here tonight.
Yeah, I'm so proud of the team. First time on the concrete with both of us, so it's really good. We're making strides. Cars are running better. That racing surface was the best we've had all year. Perfect for these mini stocks. Just want to thank Dave Griffin, Century 21, Punt Installations, Stephen Punter, great guy, and Jonah, Austin, my dad, those guys back in the pits tonight. They did a good job. So thank you very much.
Right on. Ashton Dickey will finish third here tonight. Wade Thorne will be our second. And our winner tonight, Fabio Oliveira, gets it done. We'll be right back live on Case O'Neill's night here at Ohsweken.
Get ready to experience the NASCAR Pinty Series Power Hour. Join your host and wingman, Cam K, every Monday night at 7 p.m. on GeForce TV for an hour of non-stop excitement and in-depth analysis of the hottest racing series around. From the latest race highlights to expert analysis and insider commentary, you'll get an exclusive look at everything you need to know about the NASCAR Pinty Series. Tune in for the NASCAR Pinty Series Power Hour, the ultimate destination for race fans everywhere.
Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Our savory potato sides can be prepared any way you like. Serve warm or chilled, as a main or as a side. Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Create your way to great taste.
Discovered fire, but Quick perfected fire. Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick retailer at quickwick.com.
Ohsweken Speedway Racing on GeForce TV is brought to you by Pinty's, making great food fun, and by Quick, the world's best fire starter. Back live at Ohsweken Speedway on GeForce TV, getting ready for the Vintage Modified feature, and this is how it will line up. Starting on the pole in the 17 IG, it's Ian Gordon. To the outside, the 84 from Merrickville, it's Steve Billings, pole sitter from Kingston. Starting in third at a Cardinal in the 9G, it's Gavin Riddell, and to his outside also from Cardinal in the 9J, it's Jason Riddell. Starting in fifth out of Athens, the 73, that's Josh Powers. And going from the sixth spot from Port Colborne in car number 10, it's Dave Small. Bill Pravoda out of Dresden, the 53, lines up seventh. Eighth is Andy Embo. He's from Niagara Falls in the 91. Evan Curtis in the 67S from Port Colborne starts in ninth. 10th is Tim Natalino in the 41 from North Tonawanda. Starting in the 11th spot, Mark Shadwell. Out of Hamilton, the 07. Paul Billings in the 10. He's from Ottawa. He'll line up in the 12th spot. Doug Gordon in the 9D from St. Catharines starts 13th. 14th, Jens Mortensen from Hamilton in the 68. Greg Hale out of Guelph in the 28G. He lines up in the 15th spot. 16th is Pete Stapper out of Brockville in the 63. Jeff Cledgett in the 6th. In the 17th starting spot alongside him, Jeffrey Larmont in the 601 from St. Catharines in the 18th position. 19th spot, Joe Hiltz out of Kempville in the 83V. Dexter Billings out of Kingston in the 38. Starts in the 20th position. Billy Ace Montreal in the 2 from Port Colborne starts 21st. 22nd out of Merrickville is Darrell Wilson in the 00. And Derek Liverance out of Brantford, the 911, starts in the 23rd spot. And just thinking of all these Eastern Ontario drivers that are here in attendance tonight, just want to give a shout out to the Ferguson family. Jonathan Ferguson, modified driver down in Eastern Ontario in the number 44 splash well drilling ride. His mom, Elizabeth, passing away suddenly earlier this week, and that's a huge loss, just 55 years of age. And I was actually talking to her the week before, and she is just a super lady, one of those people that had something good to say to everyone. She was there to support I know the LaSalle family through a tough time when Mike passed away, and big loss to say goodbye to Elizabeth Ferguson. But we're thinking about you tonight with all these Eastern drivers here, and our thoughts go to the Ferguson family here this evening.
Well said, Greg. Too much of that going on.
Off we go. Vintage Modifieds come to life and head down into corner number 1 with Ian Gordon on the pole. Steve Billings on the outside in the 84.
Down the back straightaway, Billings with the advantage off of turn 2. But Gordon working back on the inside, side by side out of 4, and it's going to be Rydell. Well, I thought that was Billings. I think my timing and scoring might be a little confused, Greg.
Billings out in front in the 84. Then it's Gordon in the 17 machine. And it's Jason Riddle and Gavin Riddle in the 2 number 9s. Back there, 3rd and 4th.
What a great battle at the front of this one. They work down through 1 and 2. 3 fairly distinct lines, but look at that racetrack. Wide and smooth, just the way we're used to seeing it here at the Big O. A little bit of slower traffic going to come into play for these leaders.
Yeah, I think our scoring pylon right now is on best lap rather than running order. And that's the issue we're having at the moment, as it's Steve Billings out in front in that 84 machine, driving to Merrickville. And the Dave Heaslip lookalike ride.
So if you change your scoring to time trial, yeah.
That's Spencer, not me.
Gotcha. I meant for yours, but you've already got yours right. Problem on the front straightaway, car slow. That's Greg Hale in the 28G.
That will put us under the caution flag for the first time in this one.
I've never seen one of these vintage races with this much traffic.
Yeah, great field of cars here tonight, and that's the thing. When you're a division that doesn't race here on a regular night, the pressure is on if you're going to get a race date to bring the cars, and boy, oh boy, the Vintage Modifieds have done that here tonight as we see Greg Hale come to a stop in the Draper Doors 28G machine.
You hate seeing anything go wrong with these cars. They're so beautiful, so much work goes into them, and brings the history back to the present. Jonah Mutton was behind the wheel, so Craig Handley not driving tonight. It's Jonah Mutton, all dressed up for the dance, so we'll keep that in mind for the Thunderstock feature event.
Yeah, this Dexter Billings number 38 car here in the infield, the right side has collapsed on the rear end of it, so it will need a hook over here. Suspension is all apart on this one. So we'll have to get in there and get a look once they get the tow truck where it's going to go.
I'll tell you, that's one thing that impressed me. Clinton, I watched Utica Rome last night for a little while. They hook up those modified so fast. They're just so used to doing it. All those divisions are pretty much the same in terms of bumpers, where you can hook them up. They do a great job going in there, hooking them up to pull them off.
Working on a new tow truck over here, getting this situation sorted out. They'll also get turn 2 cleared off, and we should be good to go here in just a moment's time.
Crate Sprints up next with their features. You can see them over on the warm-up track. Again on Thursday nights, that's where the micro sprints compete. And a great night of action last night. Lots of cars, and if you're a youngster or someone looking to get into racing, micro sprint racing, a great way to get started. A number of those great sprint car drivers that you're going to see coming out onto the track in this next feature have come through the karting ranks. It's the minor hockey of racing. That's how you make your step up the ladder. But it's not like hockey where, you move up into the 360s, you can go compete with a Kyle Larson. You can go and compete with the best of the best in motorsports. In hockey, boy, you got a 1 in a million chance.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Greg. As I watch under yellow, them 2 wide and 3 wide, this does remind me of vintage modified racing, watching Danny Johnson cheat 5 or 6 spots every caution flag. Takes me back to my youth.
Talking about Eastern modified drivers, Kerry Terrence, his son, drafted last night by the Anaheim Ducks.
59th in the draft. That's impressive.
Wow, that thing in the infield right now. Have you ever had an ocular migraine?
Only when I sit next to you.
Oh, okay. That's the closest thing I've ever seen to getting an ocular migraine. I get those regularly, and it's that pattern.
So
that was sketchy.
How does it do that?
It just hits all of a sudden, and then I lose
I don't
vision.
care about your headache. I mean, how do they make those images?
With an ocular migraine.
Oh, that was awesome.
It's the exact same. It's magic.
Steve Billings in the 84 going to set the pace. Ian Gordon in the 17 will restart second, but on the inside of the front row as the field bunches up through 3 and 4, 5 laps are complete.
Back to the Cargo Ease restart zone. Billings on the outside, Gordon on the bottom. Riddell makes some room down the inside. Powers goes right through the middle into the second spot. Here comes Gordon back to his inside off of 2.
There was no way Powers was going to make that turn. I thought he was going to the parking lot.
Off of the 4th corner, Billings will lead the lap again. Powers now to the 2nd spot. Gordon back to 3rd. And then you got Small in there in the 10 machine. He's breaking up the Riddells right now.
Yep, sandwiched between a couple of Riddells out there. The top 6 have broken away just slightly over the 07 of Mark Shadwell. So Mark Shadwell, I guess, is leading in class, is he?
Yeah, I believe he would be right now. Second would be the 41 machine. Is that Imbo? No.
Bill Profoda, the 51.
Sorry, you're right.
Oh, that
you're
had
right.
to hurt.
You're right.
That had to hurt so bad.
Billings, Powers right now, 1 and 2.
Doug Gordon with a nice move to the inside of Shadwell off of turn number 2. He'll move up to the 7th spot, and we'll see if he can close in at all on that top 6 that had pulled away. Out in front, Billings with a bit more advantage over Josh Powers than he had, but Powers still keeping him in his sights as they close in on some slower traffic.
8 laps left to go this time by for Billings. Over Powers, Riddell, Gordon, Small, and then Gavin Riddell back in that 6th position.
I love that we can look inside the cars. Look at Steve Billings, the amount of work he does when he gets, so from our vantage point, we can see it in turn number 2. But these cars are a handful to drive. You can see that one wanted to pitch to the right on him, but watch his arms in the car as he moves the wheel back and forth to keep it pointed the right direction. He is losing his advantage over Josh Powers.
Yeah, Powers has closed the gap, and this is what it used to be like to run a modified. Tell you what, it brings back a lot of memories. As Billings gives up a little bit more ground there in corner 2, Powers really closed the gap.
Yeah, Powers had a great exit of turn 2 that time. He's going to look to the inside of a turn number 4. 2 laps to go.
Powers looks low going down into corner number 1. Washes up the hill. Billings will hold the spot as they work down the backstretch. Good battle going on behind them. 3rd, 4th, and 5th. But here's the change for the lead. Powers edge to front. Just a moment. Billings takes it back of the white flag.
Powers can drive the car deep into the turn. He's not able to get it to rotate, though, but side by side they'll come off at turn number 2. Powers will edge out in front on the final lap.
Does Billings have anything for Powers? He'll make a charge down off of corner number 4. Off the turn, Powers will pick up the win over Billings. And
Ian Gordon narrowly hangs on for 3rd over Dave Small, Jason Rydell, Doug Gordon, Gavin Riddell, Mark Shadwell, Bill Profoda, with Evan Curtis rounding out the top 10. An impressive drive for these vintage modifieds. A great display out there.
So I think it'll be Powers and Shadwell will be able to talk to down in Quick Firestarter Victory Lane, the two division winners here tonight. No, they're calling the 68.
We have a look at that winning move as Powers goes to the inside, even with his car pushing up. Able to complete that pass. Clinton Jeffrey waits in Quick Victory Lane for the TrueNorth.bet winners interviews.
So I guess we had that wrong there, Adam. It was actually Jens Mortensen who finished 12th overall. He's first in the 50s and 60s. So Pravoda and Shadwell must have been in the first group. Nonetheless, Lone Wolf Fireworks lighting up the sky as we'll send it down to Quick Firestarter Victory Lane. Clinton Jeffrey will talk with Jens Mortensen, the 50-60s winner, and Josh Powers in the 70s-80s machine.
Jens Mortensen down here working out. He was last here in a Thunderstock a few years back. And we'll get him out to talk to him about his run here. And we'll also talk to Josh Powers in this Elevators and Lifts number 73. Here comes Jen Mortensen out of the car, ladies and gentlemen. How about it for your 50s, 60s winner, Jens Mortensen? Solid drive here tonight, Jens. Welcome back to Ohsweken. You got to like how this car worked for you tonight, and you had a good field of guys here tonight.
Yeah, it worked awesome. That was a lot of fun.
Let's talk about your drive tonight. Good cars. You guys having a good time?
Oh, having a blast. The track's in great shape. I love it.
We got to get you guys back more. Awesome run.
Thank you very much.
Congrats. How about it for Jens Mortensen, ladies and gentlemen? We'll get over here and talk to Josh Powers. Josh, good run for you. You know, you got to be pretty pleased with how your night went, too. He'll give you over the flag. And what a good field of cars you guys brought out here tonight. Thanks for coming out.
Yeah, no, it was great. First time here. A lot of us run back Brockville, Cornwall area. It was awesome. One thing I got to say, my girlfriend, my future wife this summer, has never missed a race since we've been together, and she got sick. And she texted me before the feature. She said, I'm going to be so heartbroken if you win. She loves it when I win. And I know she's at home watching right now. I am so sorry, but I did not come here to lose.
Right on. Josh Powers, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies will happen later.
Well, that will be a sticky conversation later on when he gets home. But nonetheless, hey, you got to go for the win, and that's what he did here at Ohsweken Speedway. We'll be right back in just a moment.
I heard about a new product line at NTN called Kize. Can you tell me about it?
It's true, Kelly. Kize is NTN's new range of spherical roller bearings protected by steel shields fixed on the cage on both sides. It's an unprecedented solution, and it's exclusive to NTN.
Does NTN Kize outperform an open spherical roller bearing?
Absolutely. NTN's Kize's metal shields will keep out solid particles, dust, and other contaminants, while also keeping grease in. This results in a longer bearing life, reduced maintenance, and overall increased performance.
That's impressive. Will our users need to do anything different during the installation to accommodate the NTN Kize?
Not at all, Kelly. NTN's Kize's spherical roller bearings are directly interchangeable with a standard open bearing. Same housing, same accessories, same installation procedure as they use now.
Wow, James. Look, a direct drop-in. What great news.
Yes, Kelly, it sure is. And with a minimum lifespan twice that of an open spherical roller bearing, NTN's Kize delivers the ultimate bearing experience.
Now let's get some of these out into the market, James.
Get ready to experience the NASCAR Pinty Series Power Hour. Join your host and wingman, Cam K, every Monday night at 7 p.m. on GeForce TV for an hour of non-stop excitement and in-depth analysis of the hottest racing series around. From the latest race highlights to expert analysis and insider commentary, you'll get an exclusive look at everything you need to know about the NASCAR Pinty Series. Tune in for the NASCAR Pinty Series Power Hour, the ultimate destination for race fans everywhere.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Wick perfected fire. Quick Wick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Wick retailer at quickwick.com.
Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Our savory potato sides can be prepared any way you like. Serve warm or chilled, as a main or as a side. Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Create your way to great taste.
Ohsweken Speedway Racing on GeForce TV is brought to you by Mighty White, the strongest wipe around. And by NTN, delivering the ultimate bearing experience. Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet presents Friday Night Excitement here at Ohsweken Speedway on GeForce TV on O'Neill's Farm Equipment Case IH night at the Big O. I'm Greg Kellman, along with Adam Ross in the tower, Clinton Jeffrey down trackside, and it's time for Clinton Jeffrey to give us a Case IH track report.
Yeah, guys, this track looks pool table smooth right up to the top where we got some crumble, but it looks very good. We've worked very hard to pack it, and we told you all those little ripples have packed down, and they're not ripping up anymore. This is the best track surface our guys have given us this year. We're going to probably see the best features we've seen tonight. This Case IH O'Neill's Farm and Garden track surface report is looking good, guys.
Hey, Clinton, you know what else looks pretty good?
What? Me getting run over by a sprint car as we back up off the track? What's up?
That hat you're wearing.
Yeah, show the hat, Jack. So all our winners tonight are getting Case IH hats, and I might have one for you guys if you're nice to me.
Well, I'm not getting one for sure now.
I'm the one that needs it the most.
I got one for you, Greg, because you're always nice to me.
I have a lot of patches missing in my hair that need a hat on a regular basis.
That does happen. Greg, do you have the starting lineup? I'll even ask you nicely.
You had one job during the commercial break. I don't have them anymore. I gave them all to you.
I don't think you did.
Oh, remember when you threw everything?
That lineup wasn't there.
All right.
Starting on the pole out of Georgetown in the number 2, it's Steve Murdoch. To his outside from St. Thomas, the 52, is Jesse Costa. Starting third from Waynfleet, the BS39, is Brett Stratford. Alongside him from Thamesford, the 45, is Curtis Gartley. Next row back on the inside, the 4 is out of Mississauga, it's Mac DeMann. And alongside him in the 74 from Rockwood, it's Rob Neely. Starting 7th from Harrisburg, the 14W is Greg Wilson. 8th out of Brantford, the 88 is Lance Erskine. Starting 9th from Waynfleet, the 72 is Tanner Podwinski. Starting 10th from Thamesford, the 14 is Larry Gledhill. And 11th, it's the Iceman from Six Nations, the 20 of Johnny Miller. Alongside him in the 3S from Mossley, it's Austin Rose. 13th from Smithville, the 71C is John Cadman. 14th from Rockwood, the 94 is Ryan Fraser. 15th out of Ancaster, the 16X is Keegan Baker. 16th from Listowel, the 97 is Sheldon Bender. 17th from Ohsweken, the 77E is Ashton Van Every. 18th also from Ohsweken, the 28 is Cameron Thompson. 19th from Port Perry, the 4B is Daryl Pelletier. 20th from Ridgeway, the 85C is Cam McKinnon. 21st from St. Catharines, the 777A is Tyler Willard. 22nd from Kitchener, the 2 is Travis Hofstetter. 23rd from Ohsweken, it's Matt Hill in the MK8. The 9C is from Ohsweken, that's Brian Nanakoke. 51's from Ancaster, that's Trevor Young. Out of Dorchester, the 00 is Greg Smulders. The 11W is Jerry May from Hagersville. And rounding out the field from Ohsweken, the 420 is Victor Bomberry.
Green flag goes up in the air, and the Strickland GMC Crate Sprint Car Division head off down into corner number 1. Stratford on the bottom. Costa rips around the outside with the lead.
Jesse Costa with a great start, but man, oh man, the cream is at the top of this one already. Costa, Stratford, Murdoch, Mac DeMann. These are the big players. Almost contact between Stratford and Murdoch on the front stretch.
The DNO Towing Wells Foundry, number 52, out in front. Jesse Costa over Brett Stratford, who's looking for that first career win. Could tonight be the night as he reels in that number 52 machine. He's down to the inside. We've got one up and over. Trevor Young in the 51 brings out the red.
He tried to save it. He almost saved it. And then it took one bounce and then toppled over. Safety crew on the scene immediately. Trevor Young's a sizable dude, too, in that 51 machine. So I don't think hanging around upside down is going to be something he wants to do for too long in that 51. And the safety crew, what they do, Greg, is they arrive on the scene. The first thing they do is talk to the driver. And if they're convinced the driver is uninjured to the point where they can put the car back on all four, they'll put the car back on all four. If they get a signal or if they get the impression the driver is injured, they're not going to flip that car back upright. They're going to do what they need to do to secure that driver and then go to work with safety as the first priority. The safety of the driver.
Trevor Young on his own power, which is a great sign, guys. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? A hand for Trevor Young. He is out under his own power. Taking his helmet off. And Trevor, a high school teacher in the city of Hamilton, doing a great job out here. And, this small team just trying to figure it out.
At first glance, it doesn't look like the damage is too severe, Clinton.
I concur with that, Adam. Tail tank pushed in a bit, but a lot of the running gear appears to be okay. Front axle appears to be not too bad. Obviously both wings and some shock towers are punched out, but we'll have to see what happens.
If all goes well in a sprint car crash, that's where you want the damage to be incurred. That wing cushions a lot of blow.
Trevor, you okay?
For the driver.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Tough break here, but as Adam mentioned, it looks really bad, but all the running gear appears to be all right. Could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, I just sort of got bouncing and just went up and over. It wasn't a real hard crash by any means. I thought it was going to stop, and then it went one more time.
Heck of an endo there. You're on your nose. You all right?
Oh, yeah, I'm good. Banged the knees up a little bit, but otherwise I'm fine.
Tough being a big guy in these cars, Adam, and smashed up his knee a bit, but says he's all right.
Great work, as always, is our new tow truck picking up that 51 machine. And it's always good when they can pick up one of these cars from the front end after a flip, after a wreck, as Trevor Young gives a wave to the crowd. That's always a good sign. So that rear end is expensive, and everything that bolts to it, Greg, costs a lot of money.
Yeah, especially for a team like the 51 team, and he's had some success this year, as we mentioned earlier on. Did have to go to the B main tonight, but he's been racing his way into A mains this season, and just caught a bad break here tonight and ends up and over, but thankfully not as serious the damage. Now it's still going to be expensive. Let's get that straight, but not as serious as it could have been.
12th place in the points, and he has only competed in 3 of the 4 feature events this year. He's actually the top running driver in the points to have missed one of the 4 races. So it'll be time to get these cars pushed back off again. What a start to that one. And again, what are the odds? I mean, that's got to be some of the most aggressive drivers in this division and fastest drivers starting up in the top 4. Spencer, if you get really bored, there's going to be a great shot from the speed cam on the front straightaway, probably from the completion of lap 1, where the 2 of Steve Murdoch was trying to get to the outside of Brett Stratford, and Stratford moved up towards the outside wall, and that was almost a situation.
So now the choreography begins with the push trucks all around the speedway, getting each car going again. And, you broke down how the safety crew got on the scene, got the car back on its wheels, and all of that protocol. That doesn't just happen where you show up and say, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is training that takes place and has taken place over the years, and it becomes kind of part of what these crew members know now, and they've been living it for so long, being safety crew here at Ohsweken Speedway, and then you go to the push trucks, and everyone behind the wheel of each one of them, one of these vehicles, knows exactly where they need to be, what they need to do, which car to pick up, and it's little things that we, and I say we as spectators because we're just sitting here watching and talking, we might not notice these things, but there's a lot of work that goes into running a weekly sprint car program and getting cars fired off and recovered from in a wreck.
From our vantage point, Greg, it's chaos, but from down there, it's choreography.
Yeah,
they all know where they're going to be or where they're expected to be, and that's why you don't see more mishaps under yellow or when it's time to push off. I have never been back to the push-off track because I'm always over here when they push off a feature event. But how crowded must that get back there?
Yeah. Lockhart's one to watch. There's Mac Demand, point leader coming into tonight. Won the most recent race back on June the 9th and beat out Lance Erskine. And I think even Mac felt bad for Lance Erskine. He wanted to get the win, but it's hard not to pull for Lance. And there's the ones to watch here. The highlight man and the Leach Performance Engines. Number 4, he's the Lockhart's one to watch.
And Mac was very complimentary of Lance Erskine in that victory lane. And you like to see that amount of camaraderie and that amount of respect. I think open wheel racing inherently has quite a bit of respect to it because you have to respect these machines. While we've got a moment, let's wish a happy birthday to Kaylee Zizek. Happy birthday to Kaylee. Thank you for spending it here at Ohsweken Speedway with us.
I got another birthday. Broden Weiler is turning 15. We saw Broden race mini stock. He was gifted with a brand new crate sprint today, and it's not quite ready, but over at the GSR shop. So want to wish a happy birthday to Broden Weiler, 15 tomorrow, and should be racing with us next week possibly, guys.
That was a beautiful looking car. Number 14, red and black with the GSR scheme on it. Sharp looking ride. How about that for a birthday gift?
And I'll send a shout out to Brody. He's done a great job around here. Whatever it needs, push truck, packers, water truck. He's always behind the wheel of something on here helping us out. So happy birthday, Broden, from all of us here and everybody at GSR.
Clint, were you there when Glenn was bragging about Broden last week when we were out east?
I don't think I was.
About how flexible his arm has become. He said, I only used to be able to bend his arm this far up his back, but man, he barely makes a noise anymore. So I guess Chantel was discussing the damage they've done to furniture with the two of them wrestling. We're going to have a look at a calendar from what I gather. If I heard the wonderful and wise Spencer correctly, our upcoming events on GeForce TV tomorrow. Spectre Premium 100 from Delaware Speedway. You don't want to miss that. And then Sunday we head down to Humberstone for the Southern Ontario Sprint and the Action Sprint Tour. It'll be a great show. July 2nd at Humberstone. And then July 15th we head back to Flamborough Speedway for the London Recreational Racing 100 APC Series event. And of course, each and every Friday night here at Ohsweken Speedway, we do the best we can to put on a great show for you, the fans.
Upcoming events here at the Big O next Friday night. Strickland's presents Drive Safe, Ride Safe, Race Safe Bicycle Night. Kids with a chance to win a bicycle plus the Gales Cash Blast 50. Rescheduled in the SOS in 2 weeks. We get a week off for the powwow July 21st, but then back at it on the 28th with Christmas in July. And then Memorial Night on August 4th, leading us into our big Speed Week in August.
Can't wait. I've been looking forward to that one. Brett Stratford looks to the inside of Jesse Costa. Costa pulls him down the back straightaway, but Stratford is there, looks again to the bottom of the racetrack. He's going to try to slide him. He is going to slide him.
Put Stratford to the top of the board here. 3 laps into this one, looking for win number 1. Costa slips back to second. Mac Demand there in that 3rd spot. That's the car that Costa used to drive for Bar Motorsports. He rides in the 3rd spot. He's the point leader.
Out in front, Brett Stratford with a little bit of daylight over Costa. Costa's committed to that outside groove, and Stratford committed to the inside. It's all fine and good until they get to slower traffic. That could be a big factor as this race goes on, and they're not going to be long before Brett Stratford closes in on Victor Bomberry in that 420.
Coming up on lap number 6, Stratford right there in the tire tracks of the first car at the tail of the pack. Victor Bomberry as Cam McKinnon came close to the turn 2 all that time. Now problems for Matt Hill right in front of the leader. He gets slowed up. Now the leader will have to thread the needle between May and Hill and somehow comes through that.
That bought Brett Stratford a lot of space back to Jesse Costa. I thought advantage goes to Jesse Costa in traffic, but Brett Stratford is showing that this might be the night. He is determined. Trouble.
Is that Rob Neely around in corner number 2, catches the inside wall and loops it around. And that will put us under the caution flag as Matt Hill had just left the racing surface into the pit area.
I think he only caught the inside wall after the spin had started. It looks like the wheels are pointed in the right direction.
Hot Tub Movers. Is that a new sponsor or has that been on there all year?
I'm not sure.
It was on opening night, but if you recall, he got dumped pretty bad, destroyed the car. Back here with this Radio Shuttle 74. I don't see any damage, guys, but the way he smacked that wall when he came to arrest makes me wonder if there could be possibly some damage, but it appears to be all right now.
What were you going to draw?
Just looking at that spot on the right rear, so that's got to be where he tapped the wall there on the inside at the end of his spin. Doesn't look like it caught the wheel. Clinton, you don't need to do that anymore because I can be here, I can be drawing those lines. Although I like it when you do that. We can compete.
What they say, the pen's mightier than the sword?
Something like that.
It's not mightier than the boss.
That's said by someone who's never held a pen trying to fight somebody with a sword. Boy, look at some of these cars. Their wings are... In fact, I didn't think these wings were adjustable in the cockpit in this crate sprint car division, Clint.
Absolutely. So you have 2 ways to do it. It's run off the power steering pump. So the same pump that runs the power steering makes it easier to turn these cars. There's a lever and a hydraulic system that will allow them to move the wing back. If you have a cheaper system, you have to wait till under caution, and then gravity will bring it back down the slider. If you have one or more of the expensive systems, you have the ability to force it forward and backward during racing conditions, which a lot of these teams have. So they will have to set the pitch with a pin, but sliding it back and forth across the top of the chassis, they can do that under caution or racing conditions, most of these guys.
Well, there you go, and I didn't think we could do that in the crate sprint car division, but...
Yeah, the only real difference between the 360 and the crates are the motor. They have the exact same running gear, the same chassis, the same bolt-on parts. The only difference is that 602 crate sealed motor as opposed to an open 360.
White flag being displayed by Dave Hunzinger. Brett Stratford, the race leader. If you're Jesse Costa, do you slide him back? Just out of principle, do you take the green and try to throw a slider?
Yeah, I could see it. Jesse's as hungry as anyone.
I think so.
Brett Stratford looking for win 1. The 2 guys behind him, plenty of wins between both of them, but they're just as hungry as Brett Stratford, especially with the trouble that Jesse Costa's had this year.
It's been a tough one for sure. The top 3 getting a good launch there. Steve Murdoch lost a little bit of ground. Jesse Costa coming off of turn 2 with a big head of steam.
Costa goes up high. Stratford slow. He'll come down the hill, though, and get to the inside of Stratford. They'll go in wheel to wheel into corner number 1. Costa, though.
Guys, Stratford's nose wing is down. He's got a problem on the nose of the BS39.
Yeah, it's flattened right out, and that's going to affect the handling of the car. And you see Costa work by the 39 machine to put Jesse Costa at the top of the board.
It'll affect him on corner entry, but from there on out, it shouldn't be too bad for Stratford. So we'll have to adjust his line, figure out what to do getting into the turn. once you're into the corner, that front wing isn't doing a whole lot from that point as we reach the halfway point of this race.
Jesse Costa looking for his second win on the season, but it's been, if he hasn't been in victory lane, he's had issues of some sort. Wrecked a car completely on one night, and here he is out in front. McDeman now working his way around Stratford. Stratford fights back on the bottom.
Out in front, though, is Jesse Costa, nearly half a straightaway ahead as he leaves 3 cars to battle for second. Stratford and Demand side by side into turn 3.
It's all Costa right now, nearly a straightaway ahead of McDeman as he begins to pull away from the rest of the field. Well, McDeman closing the gap just a little bit. He's got 2 lap cars, though, between he and Costa. It's Jeremy May and Victor Bomberry.
Austin Rose closing into that battle as well as McDeman gets around Jeremy May. He's got a long way to go to close in on Jesse Costa, but Costa's about 2 laps away from just a hornet's net of slower traffic.
Oh, boy, that was close there with Pelche and Travis Hofstetter right in front of the leader.
Jesse Costa closing in with a lot of speed. McDeman more than half a straightaway behind. Costa wants to get through this without having to slow down his momentum. First 2 cars he gets around, then he'll look to the inside of Hofstetter.
And as the leader, Jesse Costa, he's making some moves that you would think, why is he taking some of these chances? But he has no idea where second place is running right now. And he's giving it all he has to try and weave his way through this traffic.
He has no idea how close McDeman is, but he knows how quickly things can change in a sprint car race. So he's got to keep his foot on the throttle, keep the pressure on as he closes in on the next round of traffic. Trouble in turn 3.
Oh, Murdoch and
Austin Rose.
Austin Rose collect there. Is that Greg Wilson that was the first car around, or is that Hofstetter? Or neither?
Is it Cam McKinnon?
Now, guys, Hofstetter lost the control up on the outside. And then Murdoch slams into him from 3rd place, and Austin Rose with nowhere to go, and they find themselves hung up. The nose wing is down on the Hofstetter machine. I think that's a product of the contact.
Yeah, there was a lot going on there.
Both of these cars, number 2, are going to need a hook. The Murdoch car is broken here. Not sure if you can see, but the radius rods are knocked off of it. It is a flat tire and the axle is broken, so tough break for Steven Murdoch. He's going to climb out of this one. The Austin Rose 3 has a flat right front, among other issues. He may be able to get this one fixed with 2 minutes in the work area. Give us a minute, guys, and we'll get right back.
Don't forget, we've still got the Thunder Stocks and the 360 sprint cars yet to come here at Ohsweken. Part of Friday night excitement. We have a look here at Steve Murdoch, and he was committed. Okay, Spencer, do me a favor. Lock that screen, show that replay, but stop it just before where Murdoch sees he's about to be in an accident. I want you to freeze that screen. Let's see how well we can do as a team here. Right there. Okay, that was slowing it. Back that up about 30 feet. And I'll show you why in a second. Okay, we're gonna get our arrows here. Options are limited at this point, so Steve Murdoch finally sees what's going on ahead of him. And there's the trajectory of his race car. That's the direction he is headed. He instinctively wants to turn to the inside, but a car won't do that at speed. The options really he had, and it's so hard to do this at the drop of a hat as I draw nothing in particular up there. First night using a new toy. The options he had, you can change your momentum and turn right, but you have no idea where you're going to land out here. Yeah. Once you get up there, the banking is gone. So people might say, well, why didn't he just turn harder left? But he's carrying so much speed, there's nothing he could do. Not bad for
Hey, you have been far more behaved with that than I ever imagined.
Well, you just wait till I try to draw a turducken. It's a turkey leg. Honest. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, there'll be more crate sprint car racing, then Thunderstocks, and then 360 sprint cars here at Ohsweken.
You're so tasty. Drive me crazy. Crazy, crazy. Ain't nothing I can do.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Wick perfected fire. Quick Wick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Wick retailer at quickwick.com.
It all started for us at the racetrack, from dirt to water. We have continued to keep the adrenaline and drive to make sure that we are always in the forefront. We are driven to give our customers the absolute best in service, products, and memories with your family. No matter what your passion is, whether it's on the water, in the dirt, on the snow, or on the road, we will always be here welcoming you over and over again through the doors here at Lockhart's. You're not just a customer here, you are part of our team.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on G-Force TV.
Welcome back to Ohsweken Speedway. And is that what you wanted, Greg, or was that an old grandpa?
No.
Well, guys, I got Steve Murdoch here. Steve, not certainly the way you needed your night to go. You just got caught up in a lap cars problem. But these nights make it tough to go after those championships.
Yeah, I didn't start off too well, and then we were starting to pick up speed again, and came around the corner, and somebody was sideways.
At least you're smiling. Get with your car, man. Get back there. Tough break for Steve Murdoch, guys. The Austin Rose number 3 car was pushed back to the pit area. He does not have any guaranteed work time, but they just had a flat left front. So keep your eye for Austin Rose. See if they make it back out, guys.
Out of curiosity, Clinton, so why is there no guaranteed work time for Austin Rose?
We are within the last 5 minutes of the race, so we won't give guaranteed time within 5 laps to go.
There you go. I knew there'd be an explanation. How about Tanner Podwinski in the 72 having a pretty solid run out there in the top 10? He's lined up just behind Johnny Miller, the Iceman. So it's good to see some of these drivers who have ventured over to the crate sprint car class starting to see some success. It's not easy, Greg.
No, it takes time, but Tanner's been solid since making his way over. And noticing Lance Erskine back up there again, it seems once you get used to running at the front.
You're absolutely right. Once you get a taste of it, you realize you've had it in you all the time, but it becomes an expectation.
And really good to see Johnny Miller up there having a good run as well. He's had a sour patch here for a little bit, but up there in that 6th spot.
Looks like we're going to stay under yellow.
There's Austin Rose.
So they're going to put Austin Rose back with the lead lap car, so he'll go behind the 11 machine just ahead of the 7 of Tyler Willard. We'll go white flag again, set him loose out of turn number 4. 4 laps the distance to settle this one. Jesse Costa out in front in the 52, Mac DeMann in the 4, Brett Stratford in the 39. We discussed the issues with the front wing of Stratford. So the issues are with that wing flattened out the way it is. The front, he's not getting the bite from the front tires that he was getting before, so he can't attack the corner the way he could before that damage happened.
Back through the Cargo Ease restart zone, and it's Jesse Costa, Mac DeMann, Brett Stratford pulling away, and our guest during intermission, Curtis Gartley, riding back there in 4th. Costa Rentley outside of Mac DeMann.
DeMann made an aggressive move to the inside. Costa able to get him on the high side. This time he's going to cross him over off of turn 4. Still Costa with the lead.
McDeman got a great run through 1 and 2. He'll drop alongside down the backstretch. Edges in front in corner number 3.
Costa stays up at the outside. He'll come down off the banking on corner exit, but McDeman out in front. Great battle for third between Stratford and Curtis Gartley.
Yeah, Gartley down to the inside of Stratford. He'll give up a little spot there. Now he'll get it back as Stratford went up high in corner 2. And we got one down in front of the leaders, Victor Bomberio. They both get by, but here comes the field.
You know, that is the result right there of one-way radios. Yeah. That could have been a horrible pileup. Thank goodness for the one-way radios, for the number of yellow lights around the racetrack. Clinton Jeffrey.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Doug Leonard immediately started chirping on the radio saying, watch out, 1 out of 4, 1 out of 4, and thankfully the whole field made it by. The Vic Bomber should just need a quick push off and be ready to go. We'll wait and see what happens here.
I'm not sure who was the race leader last time at the stripe, but the scoring team will sort that out. Right now it looks like 18 laps complete with McDeman out in front of Jesse Costa, but we'll see when they reset the field how things shake out.
What a good battle up at the front between McDeman and Jesse Costa. And tell me Jesse doesn't want to get by that 4 car. That's a car he drove a year ago, and you can't not have that feeling of, well, don't let him beat me.
No, it's motivation for sure. And we were talking about front wings and what that does to Brett Stratford with his absolutely flat. With the top wing, the more tipped down it is, so the steeper that top wing is, the more grip you're getting with the rear tires. The trade-off is you're losing speed because you're pushing more wind. You know, and you can play with that by, when you drive home, stick your hand out the window. If you point it down, your arm just about rips off if you're on the highway. And if you have it flat, the wind just goes right along it.
You're an expert on pushing out wind.
Yeah, I know a thing or two about
Both
a thing
ends.
or two. It's not even that time yet. We should be well under control still. 2 laps to go. McDeman going to set the pace back to this restart. Jesse Costa's really liked that outside groove, so I'm not sure. The instinct for the second place car has been to drive to the inside and try to pull a slider as we remain under yellow. Looks like some debris in turn 2 has been picked up.
Debris. Say it right.
Debris.
Is that how Dave Bradley would say it? Debris.
He pronounces French words in a way that makes you want to punch him. Right in the chops. Because he's so good, but it's like, come on.
Make it fair for the rest of us.
The villain from Talladega Nights.
What was his name?
I'm coming for you,
the Perrier
Ricky
car.
Bobby.
Jean Girard.
Yeah, that's it. All right, back to the Cargo East restart zone. The highlight man, McDeman, looking for his second win in a row here at the Big O. Jesse Costa right on his tail tank. And Brett Stratford hanging with the top 2.
Costa got a nice launch. He'll go up to the high side. A little bit higher than McDeman there through 1 and 2. 3 and 4 is going to be the same way. Costa way up to the high side. McDeman sort of running the middle to defend against a slide job.
White flag is out final time around. Does Costa have anything for McDeman? They'll sail it down into 3 and 4 the final time. Costa throws it in deep.
Drives it to the inside. Nothing doing. McDeman for 2 in a row. Costa second. Stratford third. Gartley and Erskine rounding out the top 5. Another good show here in this great sprint car division. McDeman with 2 consecutive wins in that Leach Performance Engines number 4. Jesse Costa was not to be for the driver of the 52 here tonight as he pulls up alongside DeMan. They'll be joined by Brett Stratford in that BS 39 in Quick Victory Lane. Good points night for Stratford.
Point leader coming into tonight was McDeman, as Clint made mention of that. And this will be his 15th career crate sprint car win, winningest of all time still. As Lone Wolf Fireworks light up the sky for McDeman's 15th career win in this division. Jesse Costa second. Brett Stratford holds on for a third place finish. As they'll talk to our Clinton Jeffrey here just in a moment. And Quick Firestarter Victory Lane, McDeman out on the wing.
Well, you can't beat that imagery with the Lone Wolf Fireworks going off in the background. McDeman brings this Leach Performance Engine Bar Motorsports number 4 back to Victory Lane. 2 races in a row here. And we'll get in and have a word with Mac in just a moment. As he gets the helmet off, he'll get a new Case IH O'Neill's hat from McLean. Jesse Costa in, and Brett Stratford. And we'll talk to both these guys as well. Well, Mac, what a win. You know, you're back here doing it. You got Darren cheering back there, Cabbage Roll ladies freaking out. What a run, man. This 4-car looked very determined tonight. You know, you had an issue in tech. It got overturned. You appealed it, so you came in as the point leader, and you're going to leave as the point leader.
Yeah, the guys gave me a great car. All the hitters were up front. Murdoch, Stratford, everyone was there, and we got her done. The guys gave me a great car. It just got better and better. I found I didn't have to run the top. I could run through the middle. I just want to thank the sponsors that upped the purse tonight, Nathan Ackland Insurance. Nathan Ackland for helping everyone leave here with some money tonight. And there's a big auto truck group that bumped the purse in both classes. $2,500, the most money I've ever won. I don't care if it's crates or whatever. We're taking it. Team gave me a great car. Thanks to all our sponsors. Everyone ran clean. It was a great night.
Right on, Mac. Metro Truck Group put $2,500 to the winner's share tonight. Thank you, Metro Truck Group. Give us a sec, guys. We'll get in here with Jesse Costa.
Well, McDeman getting it done again, and I think we're going to see a lot of Mac and this guy. Second place, Jesse Costa.
Jesse, how bad does that hurt? You know, you and Mac swap rides back, and now you're swapping the lead back and forth here to grab wins. Pretty cool, but can you be happy with second at all and maybe take some positive out of this one?
Yeah, the car was good the whole race. I figured Mac was going to try to slide me there, but I decided to still run the top, and I thought I was going to get him again, but it is what it is. It was a good race. Congrats to them. I just want to thank Nathan Ackland. He put so much into my program. I really appreciate him. My fiance Janelle, she's probably watching right now. Hi, love you. My parents, the whole Nathan Ackland team, everybody on it. Wells Foundry, Pinewood Horticulture Services, Oakwood Transport, Butler Built, Strode's, Matco Tools, Welders Millwrights, Lone Wolf Fireworks, Ohsweken Speedway. It was a great track service tonight. And all the fans for coming out. Thank you.
Right on, Jesse Costa, our second place. Guys, give us a second. We'll jump in with third.
Rough night for Brett Stratford. Led early with that nose wing. You could tell it really affected the car. Clint's with him right now.
I'm getting sick of being one of our first losers, Brett. This has got to be tough, man. You've had the speed. The nose wing lays down on you. This car's fast. It's coming, brother. It's coming.
Yeah. I don't even know what to say. The car's an absolute, it's a missile. I don't know what the problem is. I never used to have this back in the day, but it is what it is. I want to say there's, I seen a bunch of fans up there. There's some signs, some BS39 signs right there. I don't know who they are, but thanks to everyone that cheers for me. I'm sorry, I'm trying. Believe me, I'm trying.
Brett, that's your mom and dad. We know it.
Is it really?
I don't know. Your mom and dad would not have a sign up. They probably had the Jesse Costa sign up tonight. Congrats, Brett. What a run.
My parents are the old couple up there with the binoculars. They're sharing it. I can see them now.
Behave yourself, Brett. It's coming. He had speed, guys. How about a hand for our top three? Brett Stratford, Jesse Costa, and our winner. 2 races in a row. McDeman, get it done. We'll be back live here on G-Force TV as O'Neill's Case IH bring us the action here tonight.
Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Our savory pasticides can be prepared any way you like. Serve warm or chilled, as a main or as a side. Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Create your way to great taste.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
Lockhart's Odyssey is BRP's newest marine dealer for the legendary Alumacraft fishing boats, the luxurious Manitous, and the affordable Sea-Doo Switch pontoons. Come aboard our new outdoor showroom, located here in Cortland at Lockhart's Odyssey, your BRP superstore.
Back live at Ohsweken Speedway as Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet presents Friday Night Excitement. It's O'Neill's Farm Equipment, Case IH night here at the Speedway, and we get ready for our second to last feature of the night. It's for the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks. They'll line up like this. Going from the pole out of Guelph in the 79 is Christopher Hale. Alongside from Canfield in the 32, it's Mark Fawcett. Tyler LaFantasy from Thorold lines up third in the 96. Travis Whittle out of Tilbury, the 17W, starts in fourth. Fifth is where we find Mikey Bobby. Mike Thorne from Caledonia in the 55. Tim Phelan from Binbrook in the 427 lines up sixth. Seventh is Jim Lampman out of Caister Center in the 28. Bryce Richardson, the 11R, from Port Colborne lines up eighth. In the ninth spot, Trevor DeBoer out of Hagersville in the 23. Ron Logie starts 10th. He's in the 97. He's from Burlington. The 11th starting spot is where we find Kyle Wirt from Ancaster in the 19 machine. Alongside him in the 12th starting spot from Jerseyville, Logan Schwedick in the 53. 13th starting position from Hamilton, that's the 25, Ken Sargent. Ryan Denny starts 14th in the 8. He's from Hagersville. 15th starting spot, Robert Hoskins from Harley in the 37. 16th is Mike Klazinga from Hagersville in the 93K. Dave Bailey starts back in 17th. He's from Hagersville in the 49. Rodney Rutherford, 18th in the 24R. Tyler French from Belleville starts in the 19th spot in the 0. Jonah Mutton from Brighton in the 26. He'll start 20th. And the back 8 spots, Scott McPhail in the 07. Go Fast People in the 11. Melissa Miller in the 93. Darcy Grant in the 5G. Casey Huffman in the 13. John Overholt in the 96-0. Jamie Googe and Kyle Andrus bring up the tail in the back row. Ryan Beagle, engine expired tonight. He did not make the call, obviously, for the feature.
How many messages did you get?
Just one. I don't have as many friends as you.
I got 3 messages, and Ryan Beagle wasn't the first to get it to me, but we did get confirmation from Ryan. Blew the engine. 2.5 seasons into that crate engine, which still isn't enough, but it's not terrible to get 2.5 years out of a motor, eh, Clint?
Mac Demand grabbed me as we were going back to the pit, said, "You don't got to go no further." He blew up as he was going to tech. So everybody knew the story except us.
Top 4 cars right now, single file, and then it's a mad race for 5th on back. Mike Thorne has the spot, but here comes Trevor DeBoer to the inside of him. He'll take the 5th spot away. Tyler LaFantasy works to the outside of that Petro Plus number 55.
That racetrack is absolutely beautiful. Watching these cars, all sorts of options out there. Bryce Richardson had to bite the brakes to avoid contact with Mike Thorne and the outside wall. 3 wide off of turn 2.
Oh, what a mess off of corner 2. Bumpers banging there. Denning, LaFantasy, Thorne's in there. Wirt, Bryce Richardson on the bottom's Ron Logie. And oh, by the way, there's Dave Bailey in the thick of it.
3 wide and 4 wide, and they're crossing over coming off the turns. Mike Thorne has an evil handling car going into the corners.
Ryan Beagle came into tonight 3 points atop the point standings over the number 19 of Kyle Wirt. Dave Bailey right behind them. So a big night of misfortune for Ryan Beagle.
Mark Fawcett out in front by half a straightaway over Chris Hale. Phelan hanging on to third, but Trevor DeBoer working the inside, getting a lot of speed down around the bottom of the racetrack. Jim Lampman right behind him.
Tim Phelan working the outside of Trevor DeBoer. Racing with Christopher Hale. That's the battle right now for the 2nd spot. Hale has it. DeBoer in 3rd. Phelan having a good run in that 4th spot. Still showing a little wisp of smoke in that 427 machine.
we wouldn't be able to call him Smoky Tim Phelan. While we have a moment, and I'm going to mention this again later tonight, speaking of smoker, Ray Gowan passed away this week, a race car driver for decades out of the Brantford area.
Yeah, thinking of Shane and family this week.
Always fun to see Ray at the races and have a quick chat. He was out at the races earlier this year.
Battle for third heating up. Kyle Wirt, who's looking to take the point lead away tonight from Ryan Beagle, sitting in that fourth spot, tucked in behind Hale. He's got Phelan behind him, and now Dave Bailey, who started 17th, is knocking on the door of the top 5.
We continue to run under green, so the field is strung out just a little bit, but there's still tons of activity. Mark Fawcett, who has launched out to a big lead, is not quite as fast as Trevor DeBoer these last number of laps, so it's well under half a straightaway advantage as we reach the halfway point of this feature.
Fawcett works by a couple of lap cars now as he puts Huffman and Grant one down. Trevor DeBoer is reeling in those cars as the leader catches Kyle Andrus, and Trevor DeBoer trying to get by Huffman and Grant.
The good fortune for Trevor DeBoer is the inside is where he's been running, and the inside is the lane that opened up in that lap traffic. So it's about 12 car lengths between Mark Fawcett and Trevor DeBoer, between first and second. We'll see if DeBoer can close in. And after Fawcett gets around Kyle Andrus in the 43, he should have clear sailing for a little while out front.
Trevor DeBoer again trying to catch that 32 machine. He's about 4 car lengths back off the deck lid of the Canfield driver who's led this thing since it dropped the green flag. Kyle Wirt back there in third, a good distance back from this battle for the lead.
Keeping in mind, Mark Fawcett has no idea what's going on behind him as Scott McPhail goes around in turn 2, but he's able to keep that car running, and we stay under green.
Slower traffic coming up as Mike Thorne has problems in the Petro Plus Burger Barn 55. He'll head to the infield. 7 to go, make it 6 to go this time by the flag stand.
Little cluster of traffic here ahead of Fawcett as Trevor DeBoer closes in. DeBoer looks 1 lane higher in that 23, running a very similar line to our race leader. Now he'll swing up to the outside, try to make his move.
Now Mark Fawcett should know or can imagine that there's someone there to his outside. Now he can see Trevor DeBoer. He's got company for the first time in this one in that blue 23.
Laps wind down. We're into the final 5 circuits here at the Big O. Mark Fawcett trying to make his way to victory lane.
This is a track where I don't believe Mark Fawcett has ever won before in the 32 machine. He's got wins elsewhere, but Trevor DeBoer takes the lead away from him here in the late going.
A little bit of slower traffic. DeBoer goes around. Go Fast People on the inside. So does Fawcett. Now he'll swing to the outside of Scott McPhail.
Kyle Wirt, Dave Bailey, second and third in points coming into tonight. They're right there, nose to tail. Running in the third and fourth position. Rodney Rutherford behind them.
2 laps remain this time. Wirt and Bailey closing in on this lead duo, but I think it's still going to be a 2-car battle to the finish of this one as DeBoer has to tiptoe through the slower traffic. They're side by side in front of the leaders.
Mark Fawcett still right there, and the door kind of got closed for a moment in front of Trevor DeBoer as they roll it through 3 and 4. White flag this time by the stand. Miller sees the leader now down to the inside.
DeBoer finally gets himself to the inside of that slower traffic, slides up the racetrack. Here goes Fawcett to the inside. It's a drag race down the backstretch on the final lap.
Door to door, they go into corner number 3. DeBoer looking for career win number 6. Yellow flags out. We got 2 cars to the outside of corner 3. And boy, Trevor DeBoer is going to wish they came to the checkered flag there.
No kidding.
Wow.
Window nets coming down.
Is that Jonah Mutton? Yeah, Jonah Mutton in the 26.
And Mike Klazinga.
And I didn't realize those cars were there until the leaders went by, and it's like, oh, there's 2 cars there. And Trevor DeBoer had just inched ahead there at the line.
Wow.
Now we were trying to call that yellow, but there was a radio issue there just as the leaders got into it. But yeah, tough break here. Now, just want to mention, we do have a lot of Brighton cars. Brighton's closed this weekend for Canada Day. So we'll see what they do here as they try and get these guys out there.
Who would have won that race, Greg?
Well, the line, Trevor DeBoer had edged ahead, but I don't know if they'd let off or what happened there. I didn't see if they both kept their foot in the throttle.
Well, the Hanley car broke a tie rod or a control arm, and the left front came out of this car. And that's what got out of control. Then he got up on the track, got into the side of Klazinga, and Klazinga got launched up over the berm.
And we just watched a replay of that final lap racing back to the yellow, and DeBoer did get the advantage, and it looked like both of them were driving as hard as they could to the finish. It didn't look like either of them lifted. But DeBoer did not get through 1 and 2 very well at all. That's what allowed Mark Fawcett to make that move in the first place.
Klazinga over here with issues, guys. He's got problems here on the left front. Pushed in, the control arm is messed up on this one, as you can imagine as well. On the Ohsweken Farmer Save 93K. Got some body supports up into the tire there, and that will be all of it for the 93K, guys.
He'll go off on the hook, and that will end his night. Well, this changes everything. Now, new rule for this year. This race will be 21 laps long. 19 laps are complete. In previous years, they would have thrown the green flag and the white flag at the same time, and it would be a one-lap sprint to the finish. Now, with the new rules that were set up in the off-season, it will be a green, white, checkered. Clinton Jeffrey, can you confirm that? And our little pile of dirt is back on the backstretch.
Give me 1 second.
No, I just want you to confirm, but I don't want you to ask.
It will be a green, white, checkered finish.
I'm still impressed that you went to the effort to get the answer, but I would have been more impressed if you just hadn't. Said,
I knew it, but I didn't want to make Doug mad, so I figured we just confirm it.
Fair enough.
But we were told that after race 1. We will not have any green and white together, single lap finishes. Every finish here will be a green, white checker if caution comes out in this situation.
Now we know, and knowing is half the battle. Folks, give Jonah Mutton a wave. He's waving back, all dressed up for tonight, too. Not the way he wanted this night to end, but hopefully it was worth the trip anyhow. Single file restart. Trevor DeBoer going to lead us back to the green. Now, if you're Mark Fawcett, you've got to remember turn 1 and 2 that last time in slower traffic. You want DeBoer to drive as hard as he can down into 1 and 2 and slide up the track. That's going to be Fawcett's opportunity, Greg. We're about to come back to green.
Here we go with the Cargo Ease restart zone. Trevor DeBoer looking for career win 6 here at the Big O. Mark Foss looking for his first ever win at Ohsweken Speedway, but Kyle Wirt has other thoughts. He wants to ruin the party for both of them.
Boy, oh boy, Mark Fawcett just saw things go from bad to worse. Dave Bailey up to second, Wirt to third, Rodney Rutherford there fourth, Fawcett in the mix as well, as now the white flag is going to fly.
One more time around for Trevor DeBoer in the Mert Timson Auto, number 23. Pilots it through corner number 2. Here comes Wirt. He's got a bit of a run.
DeBoer out in front by 6 car lengths as they race into 3 and 4. He'll defend the inside of the racetrack. Come off at turn number 4 for the final time. Trevor DeBoer going to take the win.
Kyle Wirt second. Mark Fawcett at the line grabs third away from Dave Bailey. And then Rodney Rutherford will take the top 5 position.
Now, there was a lot going on at that restart. Let's confirm again. Clinton, were there any penalties handed out on that final restart?
I have not heard yet. Give me a second.
Unofficially, Ron Logie 6th, 7th, Christopher Hale 8th, Ryan Denning 9th, Tim Phelan And 10th will go to Rob Hoskins. 11th, Jim Lampman. 12th, Logan Schwedick. Tyler French, 13th. 14th, Tyler LaFantasy. And Ken Sargent, 15th.
So we have a look at this, the replay of the restart, and Kyle Wirt, as the green flag flew, Wirt just got on the throttle and the opportunity was there to head to the inside, and he did just that. Clint, I'm curious, that 23, the look of that car has been racing here for many, many years, and also raced as a Thunder car back at Cayuga Speedway. I'm curious how much of that is still the same old Thunder car that ran at Cayuga Speedway back in the day.
Fair enough, we can ask those questions. Brother Tim DeBoer in here to congratulate him. Want to send a shout out to Brother Dusty, who's recovering after his bad wreck about 3 weeks ago here on the back straightaway in his mini stock. Trevor DeBoer working to get his stuff off here and get ready to talk to us.
So Kyle Wirt must have been penalized because Dave Bailey showing up 4th on the scoreboard, but he's there on the concrete. Kyle Wirt scored his 2nd, but must have been penalized on that last restart.
We'll find that out right after we get to our True North.bet Victory Lane interview live here from Quick Victory Lane. Here he comes, ladies and gentlemen. How about a hand for your feature winner tonight, Trevor DeBoer? Trevor worked his way around here to get a talk with us. And Trevor, the question Adam wants to know, he says you've been racing this colored car on a Thunder car for a long time. Any of this left over from the Cayuga days, or is this all new?
Oh, it's a totally separate car. This one was 2016. The other car was started in about 94, 5, I don't know.
Congrats on a great drive. You know, you had that last lap caution. Did that play with your nerves at all, Trevor? Were you worried who was getting lined up behind you?
Yeah, because coming to that last lap, Mark got right beside me, and we did bang doors a little bit, but then the caution came out, and it was like, oh no, now everybody else, I don't know who's behind or where they're coming or what was going on, but you never know when you're going to be on this pavement or back on the pavement, and so any time feels great, and to race with these guys and everybody at the track, it was great.
Congrats, Trevor.
Thanks.
Trevor DeBoer, ladies and gentlemen, a good run for these guys, Adam. What can you say?
No, for sure, a great drive for Trevor DeBoer, and word from Dave Hunsinger was the penalty to Kyle Wirt, 2 positions for jumping that final start, so that slides Mark Fawcett up to the 2nd spot.
Mark, you've been close here at Ohsweken lots. You almost got one here tonight. You know, that caution helped you get a second chance, but still Trevor was able to best you here at the end of this one.
Yeah, you can see the car. People were using me as ping pongs there, trying to get by. So, yeah, unfortunately, I lost that one. It would have been my first win here, and still trying to get that. Other than that, I'll take second.
It's coming. You can tell a dejected Mark Fawcett, guys.
It's a frustrating sport, Clinton, and Mark Fawcett, much like Brett Stratford, you can see doing all the right things and making all the right moves, and it just doesn't always work out. Clinton's with our 3rd place finisher.
Well, Dave, solid run here. You know, any night you get on the concrete is a good points night. You know, let's talk about this. How proud of your buddy, Trevor? I know you guys are good buddies. Can you be happy to see Trevor win this one?
Yeah, it's awesome to see him up here. It's been a while for him, and just awesome to see a guy that works hard and just regular blue-collar dude and out here racing. Awesome to see him get a win.
Let's talk about your night coming from deep in the pack, which is going to be the modus operandi for most of the summer. You know, still a great run. Did that last caution help you get this spot, Dave?
Obviously it did. Wirt was kind of just doing what Wirt does and jumping restarts and kind of rubbing people a little bit. So we really shouldn't be here, but thanks to a couple moves by him, we got here. So good night anyways. Top 3 is always good.
Right on. Dave Bailey will finish 3rd. 2nd will be Mark Fawcett. And your winner tonight, Trevor DeBoer, gets it done. How about it, ladies and gentlemen? Make a round of applause for these guys. We'll be right back live here on G-Force TV as O'Neill's and Case IH present live action from Ohsweken Speedway.
Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Our savory pasticides can be prepared any way you like. Serve warm or chilled, as a main or as a side. Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Create your way to great taste.
You're so tasty. Drive me crazy. Crazy, crazy. Ain't nothing I can do.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on G-Force TV.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick perfected fire. Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
Back live at Ohsweken Speedway on G-Force TV. Greg Kellman, Adam Ross, Clinton Jeffrey, bringing you all the action here on Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet presents Friday Night Excitement from the Big O. Final feature of the night, rolling onto the racetrack. It's for the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack Merchandising Sprint Cars. And here's the starting lineup. Going from the pole out of Dorchester in car number 1, it's Holly Porter. To the outside from St. Catharines, the 71 is Mike Bowman. Starting in third from Dunnville, the 15, that's Ryan Turner. Starting in fourth, in car number 10 out of Brantford downtown, Mitch Brown. Rolling off fifth, the point leader out of Beamsville in the 88H, that's Josh Hansen. Alongside him, tonight's Nathan Ackland Top Gun Award winner from Scotland, the 87X, Sean Evans. Rolling off seventh out of Freelton, the 12 Double D, that's Darren Dryden. And to his outside from Scotland, the 47X, D-Dubs, Dylan Westbrook. Starting in ninth out of Binbrook, car number 9, the Live Wire, Liam Martin. And DJ Christie to his outside, he's from Beachville in car number 5, rolling off in 10th. Starting 11th from Thamesford in car 7, it's Eric Gledhill. 12th starting position belongs to Grimsby's Travis Cunningham in car number 90. Starting 13th out of Niagara Falls, the 70 machine is Bailey Hurd. And to his outside, starting 14th from Hamilton, the 19D, Alan Downey. 15th position goes to Nick Sheridan. He's from Mount Bridges in the 45. From Brantford in the 49L, Lucas Smith starts 16th. Starting 17th from Lewiston, New York, it's Derek Jonathan in the 81. And going off 18th out of Tilsonburg, car number 17X, Corey Turner. 19th position belongs to Tyler Powless. He's from Ohsweken in the 77T. 20th, that'll be St. Catharines' Kevin Pauls in the 46. Starting 21st out of Caister Center, the 11 of Jamie Turner. And his outside from St. Williams in the 21 is John Burbridge, starting 22nd. 23rd position from Brampton, it's Dave McKnight in the 70 M&M. And going from 24th, the Ohsweken Flyer, Glenn Stiers in car 0. 24 cars, 25 laps the distance. Round number 3 of the 2023 season.
Let's have a look at our ones to watch presented by Lockhart's. And it is our points leader, Josh Hansen, in the 88 by virtue of 3 top 5 finishes. The only driver to finish in the top 5 in all 3 feature events so far this year. Can he continue that streak, Greg?
Well, I'll tell you what, I think he can. He's been very smooth, and on nights where he doesn't have it to win the race, he's there running a very consistent race. He doesn't use that car too hard when he can, and that's a championship driver.
Oh, I've got to agree. This is the first time I have ever seen Holly Porter not have the steepest wing angle of anybody on the racetrack, because she generally does. She will crank that wing up. She likes running the inside. So let's see how that one car responds as this race begins. Mike Bowman's wing has a lot more angle to it alongside Mitch Brown in row number 2, the same thing. So Holly Porter a little conservative with that wing angle. Oh, how did that happen? Oh, I know how it happened. Messing with the telestrator. Spencer said it wouldn't work, but it did.
All right, for the first time this year, we're going to line things up So you guys on the backstretch, you'll get them first as they come to you 4 wide, and then on the front stretch, we'll wave these drivers on. They're lined up behind the Strickland GMC Pace truck. All right, front stretch. When they come off of corner 4, get on your feet. It's been a while. Time to stretch those legs. Take the hat off. Grab a program, whatever you got. Wave these drivers on. They are 4 wide and fancy for you, the fans. This is the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack Merchandising Sprint Cars. Dave Hunsinger, do you have any eyebrows left? That was a close one. They fired that one out of the truck right in front of his face. No, I'm doing... All right, white flag being displayed. Holly Porter starting from P1. 2x2, 12 rows of beautifully prepared sprint cars ready to come to life. Holly Porter, Mike Bowman on the front row. Dave Hunsinger with green flag in hand. Rick Scott pulls the Strickland GMC Pace truck off on the backstretch. Ladies and gentlemen, you came looking for a show? Well, here you go. Let's end all the anticipation as we bring to you our feature presentation. They rumble, bumble, stumble down through 1 and 2. Clean and green. Mike Bowman has the lead into 3.
But he's got a couple of hard chargers in Mitch Brown and Ryan Turner right behind him.
Oh, Liam Martin around in 4. That's going to gather up a couple of cars. And Kevin Pauls, poor Kevin Pauls is the one that ends up stopped out of all of that.
That didn't gather anybody that it should have.
No. Liam Martin got turned around, but then got hit and moved back in the right direction. And then Kevin Pauls comes to a stop right there in the exit of corner number 4.
Now, there might be some cars with damage to them, but everybody that was initially involved with the skirmish that started that yellow flag was able to get those cars pointed in the right direction and carry on. It looks like they're going to count that first lap. Have a look at the replay here from the speed shot, and there you see, I believe it was Liam Martin, the first car to get sideways, and then just cars bouncing this way and that way. Great reflexes by these drivers to get them checked up and carry on, and everybody's still out there on the racetrack. Clinton Jeffrey.
Well, I'm here in 3, and I watched Liam. He was pretty much half sideways. I thought he backed it into 3 a little bit early and then actually lost it out of 4. How fortunate was he? Now, as I watched him go around, I thought there might be a problem in the right front, but everything looks to be all right on that number 9 machine.
Kevin Pauls with the right panel of his nose wing hanging over, sort of rubbing on that right front. I don't think it would pose much of a problem, Clinton.
On this restart, let's do a quick fire it up. The sights and sounds of the 360 sprint cars. Sean Evans saved more money 1 lap ago than Grandma at the grocery store. He backed out of a 4-wide situation off of corner 2 that could have been awful.
Saved himself some race car that he can use later on in this feature, because I'm not sure how much of one he would have had left Had he kept the nose there, he's going back to work on Sheridan in that 45 machine out in front. Mike Bowman starting to pull away in the 71. He's going to be encountering lap traffic here in the next 2 to 3 laps.
Yeah, torrid pace he's setting right now as he'll come to lap number 6, and he's already catching the back of the pack. Dave McKnight will be the first car in his sights in that Dynablast Ryco number 71.
Our one to watch was Josh Hansen in the 88, and he's looking pretty racy out there as Mike Bowman gets up out of the groove. Hansen able to run the bottom of the racetrack and make some pretty good speed as he closes in on Ryan Turner.
So McKnight goes a lap down. Now John Burbridge Jr. is next in the sights for Mike Bowman, who's working that outside line, leading on lap number 7 of this 25-lap main event, looking for his first career 360 sprint car win.
Josh Hansen having to cross over Dave McKnight. He'll swing to the inside down in turn number 1. He's lost some ground to second place. Ryan Turner as Dylan Westbrook and DJ Christie swap sliders.
Bowman works around Kevin Pauls, now catching Glenn Stiers, working lap number 9. Ryan Turner keeping pace in the Nitro 54, number 15, and Josh Hansen right behind him. So top 5 right now, all close together within striking distance of one another.
Mike Bowman closing in on some heavier traffic right now. Glenn Stiers, the track owner, directly in front of him. And then they're lined up right in front there. It's going to be some busy laps here for Mike Bowman as he heads to the outside.
He rolls it off a corner 4 as Ryan Turner went way off the track there. He'll lose a spot to Josh Hansen, then says, nope, I'll take it right back down to corner number 1. As he works behind the lap car of Kevin Pauls. Hansen back to the inside of Turner, and all the while, here comes Westbrook coming up from behind both of them.
I'm pretty sure Turner thought he was running the inside until Hansen went by him on the inside.
Here comes Westbrook now. He'll take the 3rd spot away from the 15 of Ryan Turner. He'll go way up the hill, though. Turner back down to the bottom side.
Laps quickly ticking away. We're halfway through this. 13 laps down, 12 laps to go, and Mike Bowman has a bit of a buffer between himself and Josh Hansen, almost half a dozen lap cars.
Yeah, 5 cars in a straightaway. The difference right now between Mike Bowman and Josh Hansen. Here comes Dylan Westbrook, though. Pitches the car sideways, trying to cut down on Josh Hansen. Turner right there with him. Mitch Brown is not far off these 3.
Westbrook to the extreme outside, Hansen to the inside as they split around Glenn Stiers.
Mike Bowman works it off a corner 4, this time by 13 laps left to go. Make that, 10 laps left to go on the scoreboard for Mike Bowman as he works to the inside of Derek Jonathan. It was Westbrook by Hansen, Hansen right back by him.
Dylan Westbrook just threw an aggressive slider on Hansen because Hansen slid him up the racetrack the lap before. Great battle for second as Westbrook bounces off the front stretch wall.
Hansen to the inside of the lap car of Jamie Turner. They make contact and Hansen brakes. Hansen into the infield.
Wow, what a break for our points leader. Difficult break for Hansen in the 88. His night is done. That's going to cost him a lot of points.
Just like that, in a very solid position was Josh Hansen, and now he's on the infield, losing all these positions as no one else has left the racing surface.
No, they sure haven't. There's a lot going on out there right now as Mike Bowman out in front held the advantage over Dylan Westbrook. He's hoping this thing stays green right through to the end. Westbrook with a big head of steam on the outside in that 47 machine, but he's got a long way to go.
Next time by the start-finish line, it'll be 5 laps left to go for Mike Bowman, right behind Eric Gledhill and Travis Cunningham. He'll work it off of 4.
Whoa, 5 laps. Turn number 1.
And one around Tyler Powless right in front of the leader.
That's a horse of a different color. As we're going to have a restart with 6 laps to go. And Clinton Jeffrey, I'd love to hear what Josh Hansen has to say. He was on the inside of Jamie Turner. He was able to make his car stick on the extreme inside of turn number 2. And whether Jamie Turner didn't see him, or it was, well, let's find out.
Josh, what happened here with the 88? Obviously you had contact with something. What got you here tonight?
I was just passing JT on the bottom, the lap car. Usually he's pretty good at giving room to the leaders, but I got my nose under him, and I was about halfway under him, and he just drove me into the wall coming out of 2. Just sucks. We work our asses off every week, and to get wrecked by a lapper, and when they, it just sucks.
We appreciate your time, Josh. The point leader, guys, is going to end his night here in the infield. He'll have some battling back to do to make this one work.
A pretty accurate description based on what I watched there. I mean, obviously, Jamie Turner's not going to do that intentionally, but frustrated Josh Hansen there having to watch the end of this one.
And let's watch the replay. And there it is. Just that little bit of contact sent Josh down into the wall and breaks the left front on the infield blocks.
Josh will be scored 24th.
Well, what do we think here? Mike Bowman going to hold on for his first 360 win? Or is the most winningest driver in 360 competition at Ohsweken Speedway going to slip by him? I mean, of all the drivers separating you from your first 360 win, Dylan Westbrook's probably not the guy you want lined up behind you, but Mike Bowman's no slouch behind the wheel of anything he drives.
I'll tell you this much, Greg. I think Mike Bowman has the best car out there. And I think he's driven the best race so far. And you know what that matters? You know what it adds up to?
Nothing.
Nothing. Because the first 19 laps don't pay.
Well, guys, down here is a Case IH quick track report. It is smooth all the way to the top, guys. Smooth, shiny. There's still a little bit of bite right down here on the inside, but all the way up. Only good stuff to go. Got a bit of a hole going into one, but other than that, we are looking pretty good. This is the best track these guys have had all season.
Great job by the track crew this week as the field doubling up. Mike Bowman going to restart on the inside of the front row. Now Mitch Brown is...
Now they're arguing over inside-outside, I guess.
White flag being displayed as they sort things out in the running order. Let's start them 3 wide like the Indy 500. You can choose to start anywhere, whatever feels good.
All right, we've got them back 2 by 2, back to the Cargo Ease restart zone with Mike Bowman, Dylan Westbrook. Don't count out anybody. Ryan Turner, DJ Christie. Yeah, anybody behind these. How about the comeback for Corey Turner? Started deep tonight and has worked his way into the top 10.
Westbrook pitches that car to the outside, brings it off at turn number 2. Mike Bowman held a pretty wheel there on that restart. Here goes Westbrook with a slider.
And Bowman back down to the inside. Westbrook's going to lead the lap just by a hair.
DJ Christie going up to make it a 3-car battle at the front. Mike Bowman retakes the lead. He'll lead the way down into 3.
Even if DJ Christie doesn't get up and challenge for the win, how about running behind these two and watching what they do in the closing laps for a win? I wouldn't count DJ out, though. Here comes Westbrook to the outside. Bowman gets great pull off the corner.
Westbrook had that car all the way sideways at the exit turn 4 last time, trying to make a move to the inside of Bowman. This time he's in a better position, drives to the inside in 1, slides up in front of the 71.
Bowman right back by, leads it into corner number 3. Westbrook runs it around the 2 laps left to go. Bowman and Westbrook in a shootout.
Dylan Westbrook committed to that outside groove. Bowman down low. Will Westbrook have room here? No, runs out of steam off at turn 2.
Here they come. White flag coming from Dave Hunsinger. Westbrook's got it wound up on the top. Here he comes at the line. It's still Bowman, your leader.
Side by side, they went across the start-finish line. Westbrook with the advantage through turn 2, but Bowman closing back in.
Bowman down low. Westbrook on the outside. They're going to come side by side to the line, but it's going to be Westbrook with the win.
Bowman for second, DJ Christie third, Ryan Turner fourth, Mitch Brown going to round out the top 5. You've got to lose one before you can win one. Is that what we experienced tonight for Mike Bowman in the 71? Let me tell you, Dylan Westbrook that entire race struggled through 3 and 4. He bounced it off the wall at times. He got the car too sideways at times, but he learned, and when he went to make the move, it stuck. He hit the line perfectly. He made the pass. What a show. That's why Dylan Westbrook has won more 360 sprint car races than anybody in the history of Ohsweken Speedway.
A nice round number. Win number 30 at the Big O for D-Dubs. Dylan Westbrook here tonight. Mike Bowman second, DJ Christie third, fourth, Ryan Turner fifth, Mitch Brown sixth goes to Nick Sheridan, seventh, Liam Martin, eighth will be Corey Turner, ninth, Darren Dryden, and 10th for the pole sitter Holly Porter, Travis Cunningham, Eric Gledhill, Alan Downey, Derek Jonathan, and Sean Evans your top 15. Then Bailey Hurd, Lucas Smith, Jamie Turner, Glenn Stires, and John Burbridge your top 20. And Dave McKnight, Kevin Pauls, Tyler Powlis, and Josh Hansen, the points leader, coming into tonight, completes it in 24th. So a rough night for the point leader, but a big night. Win number 30 for D-Dubs as he'll climb out down in Quick Wick Firestarter Victory Lane.
Bit of a handshake from Mike Bowman as D-Dubs. Dylan Westbrook wins feature win number 30 here. What a drive. We'll get Dylan out for a talk. And coming back home after being on the road for a few years. Wow. Fans, did you like that slide job battle? They can hear you now. Let them know it. Woo, what a race. Well, Dylan, it doesn't get any easier here at Ohsweken. You know, you were the class of the field a couple years ago, but these guys keep making it tough on you. It's not easy to come in here and dominate. A new guy like Mike Bowman give you a good run tonight. What a hell of a slide job battle, man.
Yeah, that was a great race. Like, that was probably one of the best races I've had here in a long time. But, yeah, all these guys, they keep on getting better and better every week. Definitely being on, and the competition definitely improved a crap ton.
Adam was talking a lot about your car just didn't like 3 and 4 all night. You banged it off the wall. You had to do all these different things. What was going on?
Just try to set up real tight to make it through 1 and 2. But, yeah, once I hit it right, I could really carry a lot of speed through 3 and 4. But, yeah, that's where we could make up a little bit of ground on them, and it kind of worked out for us.
Congrats, D-Dubs.
Thank you.
Win number 30. That's pretty cool when we watched them all, man.
That's awesome. 30 wins. It doesn't feel like that many.
Yeah, you're not old enough to win 30 races here. We'll get over here and talk to Mike Bowman. Got Mike Bowman here. Mike, man, you were so close, Mike, but when you get beat by Dylan Westbrook in a slide job knife fight like that, you got to smile a little bit, right?
I'm laughing my ass off. That was so much fun. You know, still getting the hang of this 360. And to be battling with a guy like that, he raced all over the place and wins kind of everywhere he goes. So I think we're in the hunt. Just coming up a little short. Ton of people behind this effort. First and foremost, GSR chassis under this thing. It's working real good. I think we're gonna come out with another new one here in a week or two. Glenn Stires competition engines. Terry's got this thing on kill on the restarts. Really helped get the lead tonight, and yeah, just really pumped to be running up front in this thing.
Mike, normally when a rookie restarts at the end of this race with Dylan Westbrook behind him, we see him fade. You hung right with him. Hold your head high tonight.
I will.
Mike Bowman, folks, second place here tonight. We'll get over here and talk to DJ Christie in third.
Mike Bowman said it. Dylan Westbrook's run all over the place, all throughout the United States, and logged a lot of laps against some very top sprint car drivers. And DJ Christie hung with both of them here tonight.
Yeah, DJ, you had a good run, you know, to start your year with a blown motor, have issues the first couple weeks, to come out here. This has got to feel good for you and your team to drive home tonight.
Yeah, we're pretty happy. A 10th to 3rd isn't too shabby when you have a field like this. Pretty much the whole top 20 can win on any given night, so we're just happy to have 3 podiums in a row, and hopefully we can build on this momentum and keep her going into next week.
Right on, guys. DJ Christie will be third. Mike Bowman will be second. Dylan Westbrook will win the feature tonight. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. I want to thank everybody from Case IH, O'Neill's, Metro Truck Group, and Nathan Ackland, who gave us a lot of bonuses here tonight. Guys, we'll take it up to you to send it home. What a great night here at Ohsweken Speedway.
Oh, fantastic night of racing. Don't forget, folks, next Friday night, we're back 7:30. It's bike night. Plenty of bikes to give away to the kids. It's also the Gales Auto Aftermarket Cash Blast 50, rescheduled for the Thunder Stocks. These same 360 Sprints, the Crate Sprints, and the Mini Stocks also on the card. Make sure you join us here live and in person once again, or tune in on G-Force TV. And Adam, busy weekend. Tomorrow night you'll be at Delaware. Sunday you'll be at Humberstone. Plenty of action still to come here on this Canada Day weekend.
So much going on this weekend. I hope Mother Nature cooperates. 5 divisions tonight on this Friday night, and the last checkered flag flew right around 11 o'clock p.m. That's pretty good considering all that went on this evening, all the entertainment. Thank you to the fans who showed up in numbers tonight. Keep that going all summer long. You can't beat the entertainment.
And best of all, you behaved with the telestrator on night number 1. So that will wrap things up from here at the Big O on behalf of the Stiers family, all the officials here, and on behalf of Clinton, Jeffrey, Adam Ross, I'm Greg Kelman saying so long here on G-Force TV. Copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of G-Force TV. G-Force TV would like to thank you for your support and for watching today's broadcast.